York City, 6 a.m. An out-of-control satellite radio show is being broadcasted to millions of Americans. At the controls, Greg Hughes, a father.
I am amazed it lasted this long.
Anthony Cumia, an alcoholic.
Holy mother of God.
And Jim Norton, a comedian.
There's no positives out of this thing, except for everybody's blood.
The three men make up the Opie and Anthony Show, a popular radio program known for its cringe style of entertainment and having very few limits.
Oh, my God.
Okay, no, this is getting really intense now.
It starts funny and then gets very uncomfortable.
In the past, they have been accused of multiple FCC violations and have even gotten their show suspended from satellite radio.
You couldn't have picked a fucking more self-destructive show.
The crazier the better, yeah.
What are you, 19?
I'm 19.
Delicious.
You made Springer uncomfortable. Do you know how hard that is to do?
Thank God this show's on radio.
Everything you are about to hear is real. Real people, real excitement.
And let's go fucking have a good time. What the fuck?
Get ready to experience the thrill of a lifetime. This is the Opie and Anthony Show.
Funny.
Good morning. Good morning.
Hello.
Amy.
There we go. All set.
And we're ready to broadcast. There you go.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Jimmy.
It's hump day already?
Is it really?
Hump day?
I like to call it Whip 'em Out Wednesday, that old gag.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Still a pleasure to see those WOW stickers.
Yeah. Are they still sending them out?
I don't know.
So they're printing them up like...
Oh, we are? That's good to
really?
know.
Like money over here.
Do we get mail?
Oh, yeah, we get mail. I mean,
Not a lot?
Not really.
Not a lot of WOW stickers?
We never say it, do we? We never really announce
We have
it.
a promo running,
Yeah,
right?
there's a
we
WOW
do?
sticker promo
Oh, okay.
running. Yeah. If you want a WOW sticker, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Opie and Anthony WOW Stickers, 1221 6th Avenue, New York, New York, 10020, 36th floor.
Wow. Very
Damn.
good. Very, very
From
good.
Mammary. Very good.
Mickey Rooney's stepson accused of abusing actor by withholding food and medicine. I just read that. I didn't see
Really?
that in my
I didn't either.
in my prepping for today's show.
A new one.
That's kind of funny to think about. What a fucking asshole the stepson is, huh?
What was he doing?
I don't know. We'll have to get to that story a little later. It's not the top story.
He kicked me in the guts.
That top story is that Lara Logan, or whatever her name is. What the fuck? Is that her name, Lara Logan?
Oh, from the reporter from CBS?
Yeah. Holy shit.
Yeah, you know, you get your savage animals.
Looks like she was gangbanged right there in the square.
They say a
Sustained.
sustained, brutal sexual attack by a gang of Egyptian men.
That's not a fondling,
No,
boys and girls.
That doesn't sound like a titty flopped out and someone grabbed it and pinched a nipple and they ran
Animals.
off.
I like the post cover.
Yeah,
Animals.
there you go.
Good.
Animals.
There you go. They were animals. They got a picture. They got a picture of her right before it happened, and you could see in that picture a lot. You could see that she's like, oh, fuck, this is not good.
She's surrounded by filth that's just ready to do sexual harm to her.
Right.
And she looks like, uh-oh, I may be in the jam up here.
What? Surrounded by a dangerous element.
Yeah.
Wasn't that whole square kind of dangerous at that point?
Well, when you get people like CBS and, you know, MSNBC and mainstream media is what I'm kind of getting at there.
Not Fox?
No, Fox too. They're looking for ratings and stuff, but, you know, but for different reasons. Like, you get that. CBS is under the impression they could just fucking send some blonde bombshell in the middle of savages and everything's going to be fine because it's a wonderful revolution for freedom. And no, it's just dangerous.
That's that thinking.
Yep.
Being dishonest about what you know. That mentality is. It's like Anderson Cooper was getting punched.
Yep.
What do you think's going to happen to her? You dummies. What are you doing?
Yeah. Put a woman in that situation, and she got split up from her crew, which means she didn't have great security with her, or they would have stuck with her. They would have been able to have it with her.
They had a whole crew. They had security.
Yeah, crew. Wow, that must have been really great because she wound up alone, broken off from the security, Why weren't they around her? Why weren't they treating her like a Secret Service would a fucking president or something like that? It was probably
there were a lot of dummies in that square. A lot of
security
dummies.
was probably the cameraman and the sound guy. Yeah, that's your security.
That's pretty much how it works in New York. If you try to do anything with these little reporters that are out in the street, it's the burly camera guy that secretly wants to have sex with the reporter.
Camera guy chases you.
He chases you down and hits you a few times.
But it is dishonest thinking that this whole jubilant crowd that's waving flags and celebrating Mubarak's departure is all good. They're all good people. These are the young men that wanted change. No, you know what? It's freedom to be as thuggish and animalistic as people abuse their freedoms here. That's it. Welcome. Welcome to the wonderful world of the freedom to be a fucking piece of shit without getting your hands or your dick cut off by a dictator. Some people just need dictators, by the way.
That whole, it's like, why as a woman would you go there when that whole culture, not that Americans are amazing to women,
no,
but they're horrendous to women.
Yeah.
Fuck that whole country. Why would you go there?
They're not looking at her with respect. They're looking at her to fucking abuse her.
But men would have gotten beaten. I mean, it's not like men would have gotten away with it. Men were being beaten.
Yeah.
Well, just about every news organization was having someone getting, harassed, rocks thrown at them, punched in the face. But you got to remember, too, she was probably the first one to raise her hand and say, I want to go, man.
Yeah.
She wasn't forced to fucking go. She couldn't wait to get over there.
Yeah, she wanted to go.
All those reporters can't wait to go over there because that's their big shot to fame and fortune,
You'd think one person would have sense enough to go, you know what? No. Even she was embedded with troops and stuff, and even that's different. I mean, even that is fucking different.
What the fuck is that?
I'm trying to move this, and it keeps hitting the fucking dumbbell. If you imagine the boss... That was a good one. Can you imagine if one of her bosses would have said, you know what, we don't want to send a woman into that situation. Oh, no, you can't say that. You can't do that.
Yeah. It's like, we think it's probably in your best interest not to go. Oh, why? Because I'm a woman? I don't know. There's a bunch of things going on here that just reek of dishonesty.
Are you surprised? Anybody really
delusions.
surprised that this happened? I'm not.
No, not at all.
Sickening, though.
Of course not. The reason I'm not surprised is because it started happening before, Mubarak stepped down.
Yeah.
They were starting to have problems, and the reporters were doing their thing from the rooftops, and they were kind of like way more protected. But then they thought, now that Mubarak stepped down, we could be right back in the middle of the action.
I'll tell you what, Mardi Gras looks like a real party from the balcony. And then you get down there on the street, and thugs are just belting people in the face as they walk by. And by people, I mean white people.
They were yelling, Jew, Jew, as she covered the fall of the president.
Oh, really?
Why would
Jew?
Why would you go there and deal with that fucking mentality?
Yelling Jew?
It's amazing. Any dumb American that thinks you're going to be welcomed over there, they fucking hate us.
Yeah, stop with this wonderfulness, thinking that they're all wonderful. Ugh. It's a mentality of Islam. It's a mentality of people that have been under a dictatorship for many years. And you can't just one day have the dictator.
What the fuck is that?
Leave. Danny put up a potato shaped like a penis.
Oh,
it's a dictator. Said, look, a dictator.
It's fucking hilarious.
It looks like you're going to put that with some morning breakfast.
God, thank God that's not real.
I know, that's fucking nasty looking.
Thick, though.
That's hilarious. How did people find that?
I think I just Googled penis-shaped potato.
Yes, dictator.
Too good, man.
It's just people think that in one fucking second, from one second to another, everybody's crazy and fucking under a dictatorship, and then he leaves, and now everybody's like, "Yay, freedom! Yay!" No. It's like, hey, we're still an unruly mob, but now the teacher's out of the room. So let's fucking be animals.
Well, what about all the other reporters that were down there and nothing happened to them?
Yeah, who knows? You know, she's just the unlucky one. Maybe there weren't a lot of buxom blondes in the middle of in a sea of savages.
A group of women and 20 Egyptian soldiers saved her.
Yeah,
but she was being beaten and sexually assaulted.
Yeah,
the place is a fucking shithole.
It's another shithole. Why would you think any different? We've read over the years what Egypt has done to its people, as far as these. If a woman's raped, they beat the shit out of her. I mean, it's all this Muslim honor killing bullshit. It's despicable. It's Stone Age mentality. You can't put a blonde white woman in the middle of that crowd and think something bad isn't going to happen to her. It's silly.
She's not even Jewish, and soldiers have been accusing her of being an Israeli spy.
Well, there
why are you fucking standing there with these people who think like 15th century mentality?
She was
stupid, arrogant Americans.
She was Israeli. She wouldn't be down there. At least
exactly.
They have sense. They know, or she'd be armed to the teeth with an Uzi and military training.
She was attacked for between 20 and 30 minutes. Serious injuries.
Where was her fucking security? As she's being attacked for a half hour.
And here's the question I have. CBS went public with the incident only after it became clear that the other media outlets were onto it.
Oh, really?
This is where CBS is fucking despicable.
Uh-huh.
Why is that a private thing when it's one of your people, but you don't have that respect for privacy for anybody? Like, why is it when a reporter's attacked, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But why shouldn't they, why are they private about it?
Yeah, if it was just some American woman that was not in the news and she's there and she gets assaulted, they'd be all over that story. But, they protect their own.
Yeah, they really do. They kept it quiet. They knew and they kept it quiet. Because that's the way you cover news. When it's going to embarrass somebody who's working for you or humiliate someone working for you,
right.
You don't cover. The whole fucking group of reporters, I admire the bravery, but they're full of shit. To go over there, you don't need to be standing there. You don't need to do that.
No.
Well, it's the same with covering the hurricanes and everything else. These reporters want to be the fucking big star.
They want to be the star.
This is what you get.
They
got to now wake the fuck up. You see the guys that need to be in the middle of the hurricanes and whatever else is going on. So.
She was in the process of deciding whether to make her attack public. Since when does the news give that option to anybody? Fuck then. Ugh.
So that's a rough story right there.
It's terrible.
And then somebody here is saying her family asked for it to be private. Jimmy is so off on this.
No.
Do you understand that other people's families ask for shit to be private and the press storms right in and fucking puts the story out there anyway because it's not their little family of reporters?
You think Charlie Sheen's family doesn't want his problems to be private?
There you go.
Now, I know there's a huge
Good
difference.
example.
But how about Tiger Woods? You don't think he wanted his shit to be private? Shut the fuck up, sir, whoever you are.
You're wrong on this.
I agreed with you until you said Charlie Sheen. I think they don't give a fuck at this point.
No, but there's a much bigger problem with him too, and it's his self.
Did you see what the guy wrote at the end of 2.5 Men? Oh, it's a classic. Can I get my papers?
This story really bothers me. I mean, it bothers everybody. But.
Oh yeah, it's
Denver Pest. Don't try to. Charlie Sheen was an employee of CBS also.
That's funny.
It's different, though. It's the news organization.
Yeah, but the point is, even though he's an employee of CBS, right, they didn't respect his family's right for him. And again, Charlie Sheen made his own problem. There's a big difference. But she's a reporter, and she's assaulted by a mob. That's a news story. When a news reporter is attacked while covering an Egyptian riot, that's news.
Yeah.
And her family, as much as, all due respect, other families cannot make that request for privacy.
Nope.
And I know, they usually don't release the names of sexual assault victims, but they could have just said a journalist then if they didn't want to release her name.
Yeah. Yes, one of our journalists. Or if they don't want to get into details, say was assaulted.
A journalist, right.
Don't get off to say sexually assaulted, just assaulted, whatever.
Why shouldn't we know what these people are doing over there?
Papers.
Oh, really? Sorry.
No one is shocked. No one is surprised.
No one's surprised on this one. I don't know the way the news is presented. This whole thing with Egypt, and now with Libya and protests in Tehran, and they think this whole thing is going to turn into this lovely democracy in the Middle East. No, these people don't have the mindset for the type of freedom that we think, or that a lot of people think, they're going to get and be able to live with. Doesn't happen like that. Does not happen overnight, that's for sure. When you're in an oppressive government, when you have an oppressive government on top of you like that, and then they leave, it doesn't mean you're fine, and these people are going to act civilized. Doesn't happen. Sorry. What do you think? Muammar Gaddafi's a little scared?
Well, they're going to go for Libya next. They're going to get a few of these done, that's for sure.
I don't know. You know what?
They're not going to get Iran done
you see
anytime
Iran?
soon.
Iran's like, fuck you, no press. Fuck you, we're shooting and hanging fucking protesters. And that's it.
And if you don't have that Facebook, you're not going to have a revolution.
No.
And Iran's making sure they don't have that Facebook.
They don't want no Facebook.
That's the key to revolutions. You need the Facebook.
Yeah, that's the new revolution tool.
You need to get that.
Facebook. Yeah, Iran knows how to put down their protesters.
And now this Egypt thing is very complicated, because who the fuck is going to be in charge? And
well, did you see the Muslim Brotherhood is making a political party, but they say they're not going to run a candidate in September because they just think Egypt should be an Islamic state. So, to have a free and open election is against what they believe in. They think, boom, you should just pop in some fucking fairy tale, ancient Stone Age thinking fuckwad to turn the country 2,000 years backwards.
Is that how you're going to say it on Sean Hannity?
Exactly.
Fuckwad?
Exactly. I believe March 17th.
You'll be saying fuckwad.
I think I'll be saying fuckwad. Is Ann talking about Republicans? I get it. Shut up.
You sound a little on edge today. What's up with you?
I was reading about Obama's tax plan and stuff and his budget. And do you know 85% of our budget is untouchable?
Nice.
And 15% is where they're making these cuts that are supposed to get everything in line. But 85% are these what are called entitlements. And it's not even on the board. Not even on the board to cut. And these are all, the programs and Social Security and stuff, which, of course, it has to be overhauled. No one's got a good idea for it. So then you look at Obama's plan, and the taxes that are in this fucking thing are just ridiculous. And for everybody, by the way. Not just, the wealthy. It's for everybody. So enjoy. Enjoy getting taxed up the ass for everything. Enjoy legislating your fucking life through taxes. That's another great thing. And then when the federal government does it, the states decide, we could do that too. And then they jump on board, and you get an idiot like Bloomberg doing the same thing. Tax salt. What year is this? Tax rocks and salt and fucking frankincense and myrrh. I want a myrrh tax. Fucking man of questionable sexuality. Shut up. Hate him.
I can really picture him taking one deep.
Can't you?
I can picture Bloomberg drooling with joy.
Can't you?
Yeah, with a couple of man's hands on his hips.
Where were you during the blizzard? Where were you? What were you doing? Was something else being plowed when the streets weren't? Huh? Get it?
He was in Bermuda. Everyone knows
was he?
that. He just doesn't want to admit it. He's got a little house in Bermuda.
Yeah, he does he? I wonder if there's a houseboy there. I bet there is.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either.
All right.
I'm implying, I'm inferring,
I have no fucking idea. Let's go to Dave in Fort Lauderdale. Dave, what's going on?
Dave.
Hey, guys, I love it. They're over there riding cows and throwing swords and stuff at each other, but they got the Facebook and the Twitter. It's like back in the revolutionary days. We had the shot heard around the world. Now we got the tweet heard around the world.
That's all it takes.
What was that? Was that a quote?
Got the tweet heard around the world.
Your phone stinks, dude.
I'm sorry, dude.
What was it? I heard
something about a shot. You got to start over.
The shot heard around the world, like from the U.S. Revolution.
Oh, right, okay.
Now they got the tweet heard around the world.
What shot in the what? Dude, I'm chewing and I might even have my mouth by the microphone. I cannot hear you.
Okay.
One more time, but slower, please.
During the American Revolution,
Right.
the first shot fired was called
"We Heard You."
Oh, God. How many times? It's not that brilliant and profound.
I'm a huge fan of the needy listener. I'm a huge fan of the needy listener.
Oh, God. He just kept stepping in it.
How the fuck does one tweet, though, get everything done like that? Pretty amazing.
I don't know. Who's responsible for that first one?
That guy. I don't even know his name.
That guy. It's just that guy. Yeah.
It was that guy.
It's like pre-World War II Germany. It was, some Hitler and his friends hanging out at some bar going, fuck this shit. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, fuck this. Yeah, I'll have another beer.
That's probably why it didn't work.
There's definitely an element of society that's way too trusting.
Yeah, definitely. Way too trusting and delusional.
How do I say this? Well, I got a family member who's 18.
Yes.
Young.
Oh, boy.
Female. Impressionable.
Don't tell me. Is this going to be
Nothing
something
bad.
that upsets me?
No, nothing.
All right. You know what I mean by upsets me.
But it proves the point of impressionable and how, people just are way too trusting. Now,
yeah.
She lives somewhere else that's way different than New York. Okay? Comes up to see me with her friend, another 18-year-old.
Oh.
And I'm like the cool uncle. I'm the cool uncle. So I let him do more than probably, her mom and dad will allow. That's your job as an uncle.
They don't run around the place in their panties going,
No.
Uncle Greggy,
Oh,
Uncle
Jesus
Greg,
Christ.
what do
Hell
we...
fucking know. It's fucking family.
Uncle Greg.
Oh, Jesus.
I can't seem to find my bra.
When you have your boxers on, your cock-hugging boxers.
When you see your own soul in someone else's eyes, it just makes it fucking sick.
Who looks in the eyes and smack in the head?
Jesus Christ. Forget it. Go ahead.
No, I want to know what she did.
So, and she's just graduated high school and she wants to take in New York and stuff, which is fine, man. Go do Central Park, go do the Village, go to the museums, whatever. Take the subways, that's fine. And she gave me her itinerary, and one of them was to go to Coney Island.
Oh boy.
And I'm like, look, don't go to Coney Island. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
The only fucking thing I'm telling you is don't go to Coney Island on a subway.
I've replaced the word Coney with something else,
Well,
but you can make up your own words.
But it goes with this whole thing, sort of, and how people out there, especially younger people, are a little too trusting. You hear about the younger people that want to move into the ghetto and be the ones that kind of take that whole thing on, and it's not as bad. And that's where my
dangerous minds mentality.
That's where my line is. So I basically begged her and a friend, don't do this. You could do anything else. I don't care. I think you could handle yourself. So all of a sudden it's dark, and she finally comes home. Oh, we decided to go to Coney Island anyway. Oh. And I looked at her like, I'm a grown man who has been living in New York for how many years now? At least 10. And I wouldn't take a subway to Coney Island, right?
No.
It stops in every bad neighborhood of Brooklyn to get to Coney Island.
Yeah, it's really nasty.
It's really, really not a safe subway ride.
You show her the Warriors.
Yeah, right?
That's where they were going, right?
But it's more dangerous than that because they don't dress up so you can see them, and they blindside punch you in the side of the head from behind. And
just to make it the story a little better, the day she was there was a shooting. It was pretty much off season. There was no but she wanted to check out the world famous Coney Island.
Yeah, well.
Taking the subway, which is horrendous.
Yeah, that's a bad
The subway from Manhattan to Coney Island is not good.
No.
But she has that trusting element, like she can handle herself, and you can't handle yourself in every situation.
No,
Everyone has some sort of street smarts, but you got to understand what level you're at with that crap.
If someone comes up behind you and just punches you in the fucking side of the face, blindsides you like that, there's nothing you're going to do about it unless you're looking out for that and you make sure your back is up against something so no one can creep up on you. You got to know those little things.
Well, I don't think she had any skills to handle herself on a subway all the way down to Coney Island. I mean, the story does, whatever, nothing happened in the end, but still, it's that trusting mentality that eventually will catch up with her if she doesn't wake the fuck up.
That'll creep up on you. And if someone looks thuggish, they probably are on that line, on that subway line, believe me.
Right.
Don't pull the. I like people that pull the white guilt thing and think I'm not going to react. I'm just going to because people you can't tell on the outside that and then boom, big fucking meat hand hits you in the face.
Right. She thought she knew better, and I guess in a way she did because nothing happened to her. But the point being that eventually that's going to catch up with you.
Yeah.
If I'm telling you don't go, because I'm like, I'm being cool, like, yeah, do that, that's cool, yeah. And then when she told me to Coney Island, I'm like, that's the only thing I don't want you doing.
That's naive.
I don't want to be responsible for you going back and forth to Coney Island on the fucking subway.
Oh, Uncle Greg. You're such a downer.
Yeah, right? No, which pissed me off was the fact that smiled, nodded, okay, and then, late in the night, she comes home like, I don't need this. Look, I just became a father. I'll have to deal with my own issues with my son. I don't need to deal with your issues, I'm not your father.
Yeah.
I asked for one fucking thing.
So where's she going today? Bed-Stuy?
Yeah, really.
She didn't come home with like a sideways starter hat on, did she? Oh, no. Oh, no.
Nah, she's long gone to college and back where she's from and stuff. It was just very disappointing, but it also kind of makes that point that I think especially younger people are way too trusting.
Way too trusting and, just naive about realities.
But this situation is different. I think all the networks want the beautiful people on TV, and they want you right in the middle of the action. And then the reporters are these, they want to be rock stars themselves, and they get themselves in these crazy situations. And finally, one got caught, man.
When she's embedded with the troops, she had, military guys around her that weren't going to let anything happen to this woman.
Armed guys.
Yeah.
Americans.
You send her out into this fucking celebration, as they were calling it. Wow, they sure celebrated.
Well, we work for CBS. You think they're going to hire security and actually, that's money.
Well, that's exactly
money they could save. So
I read between the lines, knowing from working for that company what it was all about, and I'm sure the security was CBS employees, probably an intern.
Hey, Brent Weaver, you go fuck yourself, asshole.
Right?
You piece of shit.
Oh,
Who's
boy.
Brent Weaver?
Is Opie the Hole. You almost shushed Ann on the gay discussion of Bloomberg. What the fuck? I'm trying to protect a fucking lawsuit, asshole, and we've been doing that with each other for years, you cunt.
Ooh.
Does that sound like a whole fuck face? Piece of shit? Just be a stupid listener. Asshole, there's a reason why we do what we do. I don't feel like having a fucking lawsuit with stupid Bloomberg. So when we go down that road, we protect each other, asshole. Is that enough for you, dick? Enough already.
Ooh.
I don't give a fuck if there's a million gay jokes about the mayor. But we got to make sure we don't get in a fucking lawsuit, douchebag.
Like if I stand here and say, I know for a fact Mayor Bloomberg is gay, that's a problem.
Right.
I wouldn't say that, of course.
That would be a problem.
That would be a problem. Because you can.
We got to be fucking careful. So I decided to make sure we're all careful today, asshole. Enough. Some people should just listen. There's no reason why you need to fucking do any type of feedback because you're not smart enough to understand.
I would never look at that.
Brett.
I would never look at their thoughts.
Honestly, I just looked up. I barely used the fucking instant
feedback.
I would never look at
their I would have two pictures, one photo of a horse pussy and one photo of an elephant's asshole.
Right.
Before I would read their constant.
Right.
Twitter's bad enough, but at least with Twitter, it's like, I can put my phone on. I could
block.
never.
You can block. Ooh.
No, the instant feedback is a very important part of the show, But unfortunately, every once in a while, you get someone that is just such a stupid dope that should be on a subway to Coney Island today.
Oh,
today, asshole!
Can't believe we never fucking trademarked that or registered it.
What?
Instant feedback? I hear it.
Everyone uses it.
I hear it all the time now. And without sounding like somebody who makes shit up and says, "Oh boy, that we actually coined the phrase coined the phrase.
We certainly did.
Came up with it on the spot back in the 90s. Instant feedback, because it was a way for the audience to instantly feedback their comments and information. And it's used all the time now. Oh.
Some therapists would claim it, though. We say that here in group, that if you have a thing, just give instant feedback. Give instant feedback.
Yes, instant
I request
feedback.
instant feedback.
Should have done something.
Probably technically we invented Twitter then.
Yes, we did.
We were the first to have a lot of people responding and talking.
Yes. About nonsense.
Right. And now that guy goes and hides. Fucking pussy.
Oh.
Pussy boy, pussy boy.
You should only address
boy,
them if they
pussy
call
boy.
on the phone.
Pussy boy, pussy boy, pussy boy. Asshole. Twat, cunt. Ooh.
Ooh, language.
Oh, I would love to make all those jokes, but we got to make sure, that's all.
They should only call in. I would fuck them when they're writing, and even the funny lines. Just call in.
Honestly, instant feedback's just about to go away. It just doesn't serve its purpose.
Dude, you should hang something like you should hang a fucking fake window there and drapes around it and put like a little fake sunshine coming through. There's no reason for that. I would never do that to myself. Even the good stuff is like, fuck them.
I'm not doing anything to myself, Jimmy. I looked up because we have instant feedback about the show, and that one just popped out today. That's all.
No,
I'm not searching out shit on this thing anymore.
I mean anything negative, positive. None of it.
I'm not going to fucking let that asshole fucking not understand.
Ugh.
You don't understand what we do, asshole. You're more of a fucking 90s on 9 type of guy.
That is... I don't like 90s on 9.
I hate 90s on 9.
No,
that's
if
why
I'm going to
I
listen
said
to 90s, I'll go lithium.
That's why I said it. Lithium is too cool.
90s on 9 plays like En Vogue.
Right.
Never gonna get it, never gonna get it, never gonna get it.
You just realized that there were way too many fucking genres of music that had no business being in the 90s.
No.
The poppy stuff was horrendous. The rap stuff was horrendous.
No.
Old school.
90s rap?
Old school rap, like Wu-Tang and like the
Old
first,
school.
like Dr. Dre.
Dr. Dre.
You know, I mean, that was some really good stuff.
Hearing Dr. Dre for that 3 seconds on the Grammys brought back a lot of memories,
Yeah,
man.
thanks, Grammys. 3 seconds.
Right.
Yeah, that like the early stuff, that was like 90, 91. I mean, that stuff was like really...
Yeah.
Ghetto
really
Boys.
Good. I mean, even I listen to that stuff.
NWA. Old school gangster shit.
All right.
Everybody was so upset that, they would talk about the po-po. And 187, yo. But it was just entertaining and funny as fuck. And to see some of these guys now, just mainstream actors, doing horrible movies like, Are We There Yet? And shit like that. It's just like, oh, see, it was a goof. They're just talking about fucking, cop killer. Uh-oh, look out. It's just fucking goofy, dumb shit.
I have to publicly apologize. We're talking about music channels.
So shit. Oh, I thought to women.
No. No, my doctor's been in touch with them. After our show, I interviewed Vinnie Paul, and it will be airing Friday on the Boneyard. And I was supposed to have one of the guys from Buck Cherry as well, but there was a glitch, so they were sent home.
Oh, no.
What's the glitch?
I don't know. We actually don't know yet. I honestly don't know.
What, in recording?
No. And them being booked on the show. It was
so they left, and you're like, where
I had
are
Vinny,
they? And they, yeah.
But I was going to get Josh, who was very cool, and this
Josh
guy,
is a cool
Keith,
guy, man.
Keith Nelson, I think is a guitarist.
Right.
I had Keith, and I told Josh to come too, but they were sent home. So instead
They
of
had
3
left.
people, I just had Vinny.
Oh, all right.
So my apologies to them because they were booked as far as I knew.
I actually rode down in the elevator with Josh, and he was leaving.
Does he look like Dennis Leary to you with tattoos?
No, he looks like
Yeah, there was something going on there. It was
he
a little
looks-
leery.
looks like Eric Roberts. The younger Eric
yeah,
Roberts.
yeah. Eric Roberts.
When he walked in, I'm like, that guy looks like Eric Roberts.
Wow.
Also, a little bit of what we were talking about before. What's his name from the Warriors? The head warrior.
Oh,
right.
Lynn
Whatever
something his
hell
real name is?
his name was, yeah.
So why couldn't you interview them all and then just squeeze it on some other day?
No, I could have done it the same day. But
They were gone.
They were told to go home.
They left the
Oh,
building.
they were told to go.
Someone
Yeah.
told him, you can go now.
Yeah,
And meanwhile, Jimmy's sitting there like, what the fuck am I?
Yeah, so
Piece of shit?
I don't want them to think that I blew them off because I certainly didn't.
Right.
No, not your fault.
No.
Hells no.
All right, why don't we eat some food?
Oh, yeah. I got my soup.
I think that fucking Lara fucking story just got us all bummed out.
Oh, it's fucking awful.
I know someone's going with the joke, but why not, though? Let Paul say it. Paul in Pennsylvania. Go ahead, Paul.
Hey there, Paul.
Hey, what's up?
What do you say, Bill?
I say that reporter should have had a chastity belt made out of semolina bread.
Fuck, you fucked it up. You had to go with a bread joke. But why not bring the chastity belt back for some of these reporters going to these
with those
these
iron,
revolution areas?
Iron
Whatever.
teeth in front of the vagina.
We have better material now.
Like Kevlar?
Get something.
Comfortable chastity belts that are comfy.
Get a metal diaper on or just
those
fucking
things.
anything.
Yeah, that would be kind of nice.
And this Russian psycho who went on a stabbing spree, can we just kill certain members of society?
Why are we even dealing with this guy?
How about this? He did it, just put a gun in the back of his head and end it.
And the media is interviewing the guy, and they're taking what he says seriously. It's like he's a nut job that has no reason to walk around anymore.
Bloomberg is...
But it's not even close to a death penalty case. Not even close.
Bloomberg's investigating where the knife came from, if it was bought out of state and brought in here illegally. Get it? This guy did a lot of damage with a car and a knife.
And speaking
Jesus
of,
Christ.
Just kill him.
Speaking of stabbing, Bloomberg,
Hey, well, he's not against that.
Trust me. I have no problem with that shit, but got to fucking be smart. Let me go to Scott in Brooklyn. Scott.
Hey, what's up, brother?
Hey, man.
Hey.
All right, man. You guys are killing me with this shit about Coney Island. I know you make more money than I do, but I live about 7 minutes away, and I travel on the 3 subway lines that go there. It ain't that bad.
Hold on, sir. Hello. Hold on. How old are you first? Just answer a few of my questions. How old are you?
45.
You're 45. How long have you been on the trains to Coney Island?
20 years.
20 years. 45. Opie's talking about a fucking 18-year-old girl that is new in New York City. Maybe your experiences have made you a little educated in what to look for as far as thugs go.
Can I
Do you
also
understand what I'm talking about?
Can I also add to the equation that he says he's 7 minutes from Coney Island?
Yeah.
You don't got to jump on me.
The family member came from Manhattan. It was about an hour ride, asshole. Another stupid dummy that has no reason to listen to this show and participate. Be a listener!
So, what, sir? Retort?
It's nice over here. The whole train ride doesn't suck.
What drug are you
Maybe
on?
you're one of the guys that are bad to be in the subway with.
Just tell me what drug you're on.
Yeah,
that
what are
you're
you doing?
shaking down old people to get some change.
You
for your
drinking?
fix.
You drinking?
Oh, man,
What?
You guys are screwing with me. I swear to God.
What drug are you on right now?
Yeah.
Not. I'm telling you.
Little heroin?
No,
It does sound like the heroin.
Go to Nathan's in January. That's fine. But
What substance are you on right now?
everything is cool, man. I mean, the only time a cop has been on my block since I lived here was for me.
See? Exactly.
Maybe he's
you're
fucking
the
with us.
guy. You're the bad guy.
Of course, the bad guys don't know they're the problem.
You don't know, but you're the problem.
To you got just easy pickings out there.
Yeah.
You fucking skip through
man.
life knowing that you could get away with shit.
A lot of nice middle-class people who live out here who'd like to not have their neighborhoods besmirched.
Besmirched. You know, I was on the subway to Coney Island once, and I saw a naked guy with a briefcase, and we had a discussion about the Mets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jerry.
Oh,
he knows the Jerry, though.
He did know
He knows the Jerry.
because he.
Come on, man.
Scott, let's be honest with each other. What are you on right now? A little drinking from the night before, a little weed,
Perhaps medicine?
maybe some medicine.
Why? Because I live here and I was a little offended?
What?
No, you sound a little slurring. You're slurring a bit. You sound a little groggy. What's going on? What are you taking? Maybe some prescription meds. What are you on?
What are you on, brother?
Oh.
Look, it's okay. Charlie
Come on.
Sheen says it's okay. Charlie Sheen basically says it's boring being sober.
Right. Fess up. What do you got? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
No, it's pretty much my demeanor.
You got a little oxy? What do you got?
No, nothing, man.
Valium?
I just wanted to call you guys out on not ragging on my neighborhood.
All right. It's a great neighborhood. Yeah.
If I was drinking or smoked a little weed or something like that, I mean, what does that got to do with it?
All right.
I'm like one of the guys that makes this place cool.
Look, I need someone to... That's pretty funny. That's pretty funny. You stopped me in my tracks.
God.
I like you now, Scott. You're all right, man.
Jesus. The guys that makes this place cool.
But he's 7 minutes from Coney Island. I need someone to tell me what the ride is from Manhattan to Coney Island.
Exactly.
In my dumb little research, I saw a lot of stops on the subway line that were a little rough.
Train or whatever that fucking slow-ass train that stops everywhere goes. But mostly the F train, D train, and the Q train, they go quick enough, and you're not stuck in fucking ghettos and shit like that. I mean,
Yeah.
it's all right over here, man.
Right.
Yeah. Don't even give me your shit.
All right. Trap Dog has something to say.
Yeah. Well, I take that ride every morning and every afternoon. Yeah.
All the way to Coney Island?
No, but I live in Sheepshead Bay. I'm like three.
We asked you. We asked you in the middle of Travis's fucking story. Thanks. We asked you where you're from.
So I'm like 3 or 4 stops away from Coney Island.
And it's nice.
And I take it all the way into Manhattan.
It's nice.
Sure, the neighborhood I live in is nice. Brighton Beach is nice.
Yeah.
And
Coney Island, you know, I mean,
walking around Coney Island is nice.
Yeah, I mean, you walk. Look, you walk.
Let's be honest with each other. That place is fucking scary.
Sure,
I know they're trying
at 3 in the morning, maybe, but you're walking around in the afternoon. It's all tourists.
Well, they got home pretty late, so.
Yeah, you want your wife and kid taking the subway down there alone?
To Coney Island?
Yeah.
During the day?
Dusk.
No, not at dusk. Not at dusk, but during the day.
We'll start with dusk, and then we'll back up from there.
Well, you know, vampires are dangerous, but in the daytime, there's no problem. See, that's
true.
what I'm saying. But they're still vampires.
I'm not saying it's a great neighborhood, you know, at night.
Why did everyone brush past the fact that the day she was there was a shooting?
Yeah, there you go.
Okay? So I wasn't that
Dude, I listened to
that off on this whole thing.
There's a shooting in Manhattan 2 nights ago. What the fuck do you want?
Where was the shooting in Manhattan?
No shootings.
Well, we had the Russian guy, but
Russian guy with
but
his
that
knife.
was a knife thing.
Yeah, okay, fine. I rest my case.
Well, all right.
Like Stanhope.
He rests his case.
All right, you know what?
He does sound like
he's more sober sounding than Stanhope.
He was on the fucking 3 train in Times Square.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. We certainly. It's not perfect, that's for sure. But if you're gonna like play your odds, you know.
Yeah, look, you've got a
Manhattan
point.
over some parts of Brooklyn, always.
You've got a point
like
that
a nice street.
I probably, you know,
what's
far
this?
more aware than.
It's like 2 blocks away from.
Yeah, I'm not going to walk around Neptune Avenue.
Look at this road.
Get the fuck out of here.
Keep going. Look at this. Look at that road. Walk down that road at night.
Yeah, right.
Warehouse district. Yeah, that just looks scary.
That's where you live?
Yeah, jump
No,
out.
that's not where I
want
live.
to
That's
get
Coney
off
Island.
the train in fucking Maspeth at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Now, there are plenty of nasty areas, my friend.
Yeah, we understand.
Exactly. You guys should be a little bit.
But they didn't go there. The story was that Opie's niece went to Coney Island.
They could have went anywhere, sir. You can't just keep putting in bad places. Go to Mogadishu.
See, if they had gone to East New York, we'd be talking about East New York right now, and you'd be going, I wish they'd talk about Coney Island so I could call in.
You guys are talking about the train like you fucking take it every day to go to work, and that was pissing me off.
I've taken the Coney Island train for years, sir.
Yeah, I look. There's a
you fucking lying piece of shit.
Sir, that's not true.
Can't get any past him.
A lying piece of shit.
Can't get anything past Scott.
That's not true. I actually deliver hockey sticks to Riff.
fucking commute every day. It's like if you nodded off on the train long enough, somebody pissed on you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I sleep on the subway every morning.
You do.
And here.
People live out here.
Oh, shit.
no.
That right there.
Now with Google Earth and
We're looking at
victims.
Google Street View and Google Victim View.
Yeah,
that's very telling. A
Two
couple
little
of
girls.
pedestrians.
One can't be more than 10, and the other's like 6.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
And they're walking out of what looks like a penitentiary.
Where the fuck are the parents?
They probably got their $5. They're going to get on the bus now.
I'm paranoid to leave my kid alone for 30 seconds, and they're just wandering around bad parts of Brooklyn.
Projects right there.
Get the fuck out of here.
Projects.
Yeah,
Scott, you all right?
Yeah, thank God you could all afford to live in a nice neighborhood.
Hey, I lived in
Scott.
some shitholes in my day.
Yeah, fuckface. We were fucking really poor.
Scott.
Don't people understand that?
You turned down a good job?
I didn't have a bank account until I was in my 30s.
Do you
asshole.
know one time when I was in high school, we ran out of crackers and I had to eat my caviar off a plate?
Opie.
That's terrible, Jimmy.
Opie.
Yes, Scott.
Was your treehouse in a nice neighborhood?
Scott's bringing me back. I like you, Scott. You're all right, man. You know, you're kind of right, though. I mean, my situation was I lived in a really, not a really nice, but a upper middle class neighborhood, but we were the poorest fucking family in that neighborhood.
Centerport was very nice.
Which made it very strange.
I liked Centerport.
Because we really knew what we were missing.
Well,
I think it's better
that
to be poor in a poor neighborhood, because then you don't really know what you're missing, because everyone around you is in the same fucking boat.
Yeah.
But when you have a really shitty car and 16-year-olds are driving Beamers to high school, it fucking starts pissing you off.
Yeah, you get a little annoyed
And
at
you
that
realize
shit.
that these assholes never have to work a day in their life.
Yeah,
Look, it all worked out in the end, but at that time, I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do.
You trade to work every day.
What?
Just like a bunch of radio jocks who act like they take the D train to work every day.
That's right.
Well, we used to take the train for a while there. Well,
Hey,
I
look,
did.
I got
know.
thrown off because I was yelling choo choo really loud the entire
Yeah.
ride.
Norton will understand. When I was a kid, which is like the 70s, when I was in my formidable years, I mean, we lived in a neighborhood that was so middle class, maybe really nice neighborhood, but the economy and fucking everybody being on food stamps and shit like that turned it into a ghetto. I mean, it happens, bro.
Oh, isn't that something?
All right, Artie. Thank you.
All right. There's on the side of Al-Sadi. Wait.
And I appreciate you giving a little
No, Elf.
little
is that?
comeuppance to the, to over here.
Hold on, sir. We are now looking at Street View also of the lovely neighborhood.
Is this how
down
many
there.
how many blocks from Coney Island that this guy's trying to say is safe, and that I'm wrong for not going to allow my innocent family member at 18 years old to go to Coney Island?
I don't know. I've just been going down the block
Down
in
the
Street
block,
View.
so it's close.
Probably about 4 or 5 blocks. I guess.
This is hold on.
Safe
hold on.
to say within 5 minutes of the stupid First wheel.
Hold on. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's-
you know what? When we're done looking at this, I'll
Because I
zoom
don't want
out
to
and we can
exaggerate.
see exactly.
I don't want
where
to
it is.
exaggerate this shit. Keep us within 5 minutes of the dumb First wheel.
There's 3 black guys standing out, jawing out in front of a discount deli and grocery store.
There's
And
2 guys and a woman, I think.
is it? I
Yeah.
can't tell. And on the side is a mural, R.I.P. Mickey, a big mural of Mickey and a book and his little dog, I guess, and the date he died underneath them.
Can you imagine?
That's great. I see that all the time.
How long would that mural last in Huntington, Long Island, Anthony?
Oh boy, you paint that right up.
It would be gone the next day.
What is that little window following you around?
That's where.
That's
You
part
can
of
zoom in.
Yeah, it's part of the Street View thing. So, like, let's say I want to just zoom in right on that sign. I could just go like that and zoom right in.
That's amazing. Google
I
Earth.
know.
You have to buy that?
What the?
No.
Google Earth.
Well, this is just Google Street View. So, like, this is just part of Maps. This is all in a browser.
So how far was that from the First wheel there, Danny?
It looks like we zoomed out around 30th and Surf. Hang on.
This is just quick little Google Earthing too, man.
Yeah.
I never used Google Earth. I want
Oh,
to
it's
now.
like 2 blocks from.
It's 2 blocks.
It's 2 blocks from.
There you
2
go.
blocks. There's
There you go. I'm wrong.
shenanigans. That looked like
I'm wrong.
shenanigans.
2
were going
very
on.
white 18-year-old girls should go to Coney Island and walk around and enjoy, because they didn't just go there for the First wheel. I'm not stupid. They like to really take in the area. So I guarantee they were walking around some of those streets.
Hey, Opie.
They just, in this case, they just lucked out and nothing happened to them, thank God. But I don't want to be responsible for that shit.
No.
Opie.
What?
If your family member was fucking taking a train to Coney Island in the middle of the night, I don't know, she's a whore or something. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. I mean, why the fuck would anybody about to get off?
I can't be mad at the guy. He's just such an idiot. I didn't say the middle of the night.
You could just understand people's concerns, sir, can't you?
Yeah, I could certainly understand.
How about
Impressionable,
My
18.
wife thinks those trains you act like y'all
Look, man.
know so well. And
Scott,
those,
all right, Scott, listen to my question. Listen very, Scott. Why am I trying?
All the time.
Scott, let me, Scott, focus, Scott.
You're right.
Focus before you take the next hit. Here's the deal.
Yeah, you're right.
Everyone has their boundaries, and they're like, I guess, like they know where they could kind of like walk around, right? Where are you scared to go in the New York area?
Oh, good question.
Pretty much the same place that Anthony's scared to go.
I'm not scared to go anywhere.
Yeah, but you can't carry a gun everywhere.
Why not?
All right.
I love this guy.
In the 5 boroughs, you wouldn't last a fucking minute in like most of the neighborhoods I'm thinking of, and if people shouldn't go where people aren't welcome. If you're a white supremacist and black people want to move in there, it's like women want to move into a men's club.
Where's he going now?
People want to move into a white neighborhood. It's like they're just any place that has any
Sweet berry wine.
any place that has a Martin Luther King Boulevard.
That's a Chris Rock joke, sir. And you just described what my thoughts exactly. In my dumb little stupid world, Coney Island or the subway to Coney Island it could be a bit scary for naive fucking little girls, man.
The city of New York spent
Are we done with Scott?
Scott has educated us, I think.
There's cops like on every corner. It's not bad, man.
Okay, Scott educated us. I'm going to Coney Island tonight.
Oh, yeah, let's go.
I'm going to hop on the train. I'm going to go there tonight.
We haven't done a live broadcast in a while. Let's do one 2 blocks from the Ferris wheel.
Yeah, right there in front of the mural.
Yeah. Everything will be stolen before we hit the air.
In front of Mickey's mural.
Right.
Rest in peace, Mickey. We're going to be there tonight.
Right.
At 10:30, 11 o'clock tonight.
Come join us with your Fridays.
Broadcasting live.
Hey, look, I don't know why anybody would want to go to Coney Island in the middle of February at 11 o'clock.
No, this is an older story, by the way.
I'm just saying.
And the only reason I brought up was because there's this report, over there in Egypt. There's people that are just way too trusting.
Egypt isn't too bad. You guys don't know. You never been there.
Don't even give me that. Like,
after the first penis goes in, what does it matter if there's another 100?
Yeah.
Fucking Artie Lang on the phone. Artie.
Now you think you've been to Egypt or something? It's a great place. Fuck yourself.
Are you going to...
I was just trying to... You can say whatever you want, man.
Are you going to remember that you even talked to us today?
Are you going to even remember that you're a provincial little asshole?
I remember it every day when I pull up to my lovely home.
Yeah, exactly. So
Scott.
don't act like you fucking been down here, and I won't act like
I'm not. But
I've been down.
Scott, that's the point I'm making. I'm not going to just assume shit. I am, as a grown man, scared to take the subway to Coney Island, okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not a brave fucking tough guy. I know that I would not be comfortable doing that. Now, why don't you admit something to us now and tell us what you've been on the whole fucking phone call?
For dinner,
Scott.
one of the nicest restaurants in the neighborhood.
Nathan's?
Wait, I want to know what's the nicest restaurant in the neighborhood there, Scott?
Sashimi for sushi is good. Sashimi. You can check it out.
Sashimi.
That's in Brooklyn.
Scott, why aren't you being honest with us? What do you want this morning? That sounded like a fucking bong, didn't it? What are you smoking, brother?
Now, why do I got to be high to represent Brooklyn?
I don't know. It helps.
You're fucking out of your mind, man. I'm an old guy, like back from the day when you guys were on NEW, man.
All right, we love the NEW people. Now listen to me, Scott. Where are you going to work today?
not going to even say at this point. A lot of my friends listen.
What does that mean, though?
What
do you have a job?
What industry is it?
Yeah, what industry?
Environmental.
All right, it's sanitation.
No.
That rules.
Funny though.
You're a pisser, man.
Stephen S. from Bayshore wants to know if you said shimi for shish. I think I pronounced that right.
I heard that.
What was the name of that sushi joint again? Because Stephen S. from Bayshore wants to go.
Fushimi.
Fushimi?
I-M-I.
All right.
I thought that was a new hip-hop word for sure. Yo, fushimi, my...
You know what's the most exciting thing about this conversation?
What?
Hopefully it might make a best of.
Yeah, it probably will.
It probably will.
I think you're pretty good.
Like
you're a good caller.
Brooklyn.
You're a good caller.
All right, brother. We're going to let you go.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it. Stop being so hard on the Big Coney.
I know. They always do that, and it's actually not that bad a place, right?
Yeah.
The Big Coney. Danny, could you give me some stats for after the break on the Big Coney?
Yeah.
I would really appreciate that, because maybe we're hitting Coney Island a little hard.
Yeah.
I know they're trying to revitalize the whole place, and you got new developers in there, fucking just getting rid of all the riffraff.
Yeah.
He's going to be kissing my ass.
Hey, why don't we take a break? Because, hey, Coney Island resident got to eat, yo.
Go fuck yourself. Hey, I got one more thing to say.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Click. I know, it's the click.
Yeah.
Gotta
We
be
saw it coming.
We kind of saw that.
I got one more thing to say, Mr. Faversham.
There's the racial breakdown of Coney Island.
Whoa!
So,
wow!
Let me look for my category.
Wow, we're a slice of the pie if you really are watching your weight.
Yeah, we're like a Domino's pizza slice.
Yeah.
What is that, about 15% for us?
Maybe
Nah, maybe
a little more.
less. A little less, probably.
No, 25% is
It would be
a
25%.
quarter.
So
That'd be a quarter of the pie. We're less than that.
Yeah, we're at about 1 o'clock. We're from
Yeah.
1 to 3 on the pie chart, right?
Uh-huh.
So what would that make? It's about 10%?
A little more.
A little more than 10%?
Black is huge. Hispanic is huge. Black is the size Iraq would cut out. I'm kidding, Iraq. Come on.
That'd be a nice slice of apple pie.
Yeah.
Fucking why would the Asians live there? What's wrong with you?
Asians.
Someone's got to run the
They'll
liquor
live
stores.
anywhere?
Really well.
What the fuck is wrong with that?
That's what they do. They run all the stores.
Anywhere, and they'll take it over.
Yep.
And that's not a bad thing. Asians, I've lived near Asians before, and I feel very safe.
Yeah.
Because they really just mind their own business.
Oh, yeah, I never worry about an Asian.
Oh. Let's get some crime stats.
okay.
Oh, yeah. Let's see some crime stats, yo. That's like also...
well, you get that. We'll go to Kevin in New York. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. Yeah.
Well, Walmart, I guess, is doing a whole African History Month thing where they talk about Martin Luther King Boulevard. You go, Martin Luther King Boulevard, the boulevard that's in all the communities, and it looks towards hope and change and all this good stuff. And all I'm thinking is, I think there's a lot of crime happens on Martin Luther King Boulevards around very varying communities.
Well, it's the famous.
They made it sound like, you walk down Martin Luther King Boulevard and it's just all this opportunity and everything.
I think the one in Harlem is turning around, but there's a lot of MLKs, right?
I'm not saying every single one, but for the
Yeah.
most part, like Chris Rock, right?
Chris Rock let us know that.
If you're at
years
the corner
ago.
of Malcolm X and Martin Luther King Boulevard, there's some violence going on.
Right. All right. Hey, train operator Kevin, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Good morning.
Good morning.
Choo.
Now we're gonna get some reality here. I'm talking a subway ride from Manhattan to Coney Island, sir.
Manhattan to Coney Island. You're doing all right going on the Coney Island lines. You want to avoid like the A and the C. Those go through East New York and everything else.
Oh.
So if you take it a subway,
How's the N?
You're an idiot. But going down to Coney Island, I've seen it night, I've seen it day. During the daytime, tourists, nothing like that. It's nothing bad. It's not the Warriors anymore.
Mm-hmm.
But at night, I Am Legend. It's what you got
I am legend.
Going down, go home, and lock up.
Yeah.
And it's a long subway ride from Manhattan to Coney Island, isn't it?
It is. Well, from Anaco, you probably got about another 45 minutes.
45 minutes, yeah.
Halfway through. I mean, you'd be surprised who gets off in what areas.
Oh, yeah?
You know, like, places I never dreamed of. I've lived in New York all my life. Places I'd never dreamed of going when I was a kid. All the places I was told, and I'm sure you guys know that you don't go. There's even places you think, now you don't go. That's what the tourists are getting off. I've got blonde-haired, blue-eyed tourists getting off on 125th Street, 9 o'clock at night. Where are you going?
Well, now it's,
That's just not smart.
Renaissance.
Yeah, I can't deal with that.
Is 125th that bad, or does it get bad as you go a little higher?
It gets bad as you go a little higher. Then it gets good again.
Yeah.
Strangely enough, somewhere around like 135th Street, that's where you get around like Columbia and all that, and it starts getting better. And even up at the top, all the way up at 207th Street's not too bad. It's a Spanish neighborhood, and everybody just pretty much minds their own business.
What about Flatbush?
Well, once I go there. And then really once you get out there, you got Brooklyn College, and that's it. After that, stay in one spot there, Whitey.
All right, so maybe I was over paranoid, but it's not my responsibility to have to fucking worry about her.
Better to err on the side of safety.
Fuck yeah.
Yes.
The best thing to do is go down with more than, you and your 18-year-old girlfriend. You go down with maybe a mob of you, and you get left alone.
No,
But you don't want to go down there with just a pair at that point.
Just two
during this time of year.
Two that are very book smart, but have no street smarts.
I just go down there dressed like makeup like Paul Stanley in a Yankee uniform,
and you're set.
A few of my friends dressed the same way. We swing bats. We're on skates.
God, would they have gotten beaten up in real life?
Oh.
The only thing down there now is a $4 fucking hot dog. That's about it.
All right, Kevin. Thank you, man.
Take it easy, guys.
Wow. All right.
It's I take the subway, but I just don't go above a certain area.
Yeah,
I just don't.
You don't, because what are you doing up there? There's nothing going on.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, not to be a total puss, but
really no
still.
need.
I take subways down to like where the Comedy Store is. I mean,
Cellar.
Sorry.
Sure.
The Village area, Soho. That's about it.
Cincinnati is supposed to have very good subways.
It's cool.
This is like listening to Motley Crue's Home Sweet Home. Like, cool at the time, but now it's
I kind of like the Home Sweet Home.
I do too.
Yeah,
I kind of like the Home Sweet Home.
At the time, it was probably the shit best song ever.
Yeah.
But now it's a little contrived, and you're kind of like, bah.
My favorite Motley song.
Is it? Yeah, is it going? Smells Like Teen Spirit? No,
Really?
That's
Nah.
That's still too good.
All right, whatever. Hey, we got Sam Roberts in studio because we got
What?
That's right. Lucky you.
we got Jericho coming in. Our friend Chris Jericho. It's been a while.
They named that turnpike after him.
I knew
local.
it.
Eh?
I went local.
What's his Twitter name? I am Jericho.
I am Jericho. He's got like 200,000 followers.
He does well, man. He's a talented guy. And, we've had our ups and downs with the guy over the years.
He certainly has.
In general, we've had many ups.
Yeah.
There was a down with Jimmy, but that turned around nicely.
I think that
I forgot about that.
Yeah, we did forget
that
about
was
that. We
fun.
did move on from that.
Yeah.
That was an intense day on the Opie and Anthony show.
complexities in the relationship.
Couldn't make fun of his hairdo, though.
I just found my...
Jericho, like you did with Jesse the Body.
No, he has a very full, nice
Yeah,
head.
he had a nice head of hair. Although he did wear that Pebbles Flintstone thing on his head for a while.
Yeah.
Which we, I think, called a cum fountain.
I think we said... Yeah.
Isn't that cool?
Well,
It
we were on
looked
regular. We were on regular, so we said jizz.
A jizz
We
fountain.
were allowed to say jizz
It's a
for a while.
fountain
We called it a
hairdo.
jizz fountain hairdo. He should have punched us in the face for that alone.
Oh, my God. That alone deserved a fucking...
TVPG now.
Chris Jericho
finishing move.
has a book out called Undisputed that he's promoting, and he's talented. So I'm going to read his book. Most wrestling books are not worth the fucking paper they're printed on, but he's talented and he's got chops. So I think this book's going to be pretty good.
His first book was among the elite in wrestling books.
It was.
Yes.
What was it called? Was it about
A
his
Lion's
life?
Tale? Yeah. His first book was...
Is this about his life, too?
Yeah, his first book left off when he first started in WWE, like his first night there. So that's
we
his
had to
whole,
wait?
That's
It's like
his
Lord of the
WWE
Rings.
career. Exactly.
Yeah.
Had to wait?
And I'm proud to say that the Opie and Anthony show made it into Chris Jericho's new book.
Yeah, in a
we
big
got about
way.
a page and a half.
Yeah.
What's this about, Sam? That's why we have you in here today.
Well, he talks about first starting Fozzy
and how at the beginning, because now he's still in Fozzy. It's like a real band now.
Get the fuck out of here.
He doesn't do the characters. He's Chris Jericho in Fozzy. It's like a real band. They don't do covers. They do original songs and everything, and they tour. But
we used to get all the wrestlers in, and we were so excited to talk to Chris Jericho because he had some heat.
Yeah,
and we finally, I remember, we're like, God, we're finally going to talk to Chris Jericho. This is when we're still watching wrestling. They still do well, but I'm long gone. And
well, now it's for the kids. Back then it was like
these storylines.
All you guys, entertainment back then. Yeah.
So we got excited. We're gonna have Chris Jericho. Can't wait to talk to Chris Jericho, and he comes in as this fucking
Moon Goose McQueen.
Moon Goose McQueen.
Because when Fozzy first started, they played covers and they did characters.
So he decided, I'll go on your show, but I'm not going on as Chris Jericho. I'm only going to go on as this guy.
Moon Goose.
Moon Goose.
And so, you two spent the entire interview trying to get him to break, taking callers, calling him...
Chris Jericho.
First Chris Jericho, and then, Moon Jizz and...
Moon Jizz, Mule Juice McQuaid.
Mule Juice McQueer. And Dice was in, too.
I remember that day.
Yeah.
I was in for that day.
It was a great day.
Wow.
And so he said, but in his book, he was talking about how he was really going out there and for every press thing, protecting the character. He wouldn't break, and he basically says that his toughest obstacle in trying to not break the character was coming on Opie and Anthony, because you guys just would not.
We wouldn't let up.
I'm surprised to read it this way. On page 84, Opie said confrontationally. I've never done that before.
No.
Says, listen, no one cares about Fozzy. We had you in here because we care about the WWE and Chris Jericho.
Subtle.
And then he goes, sorry, but I don't know what the WWE is. I'm the singer of Fozzy.
Yeah, he kept insisting that Chris Jericho had stolen his look, and then you guys started making mention of the fact that he was ripping off Spinal Tap.
and then it says, Dice finally piped in. Listen, he said, who is this guy? Is he a wrestler? WRESTLUH.
A wrestler.
Or is he a singer? SINGUH.
Yeah, Dice went on this whole thing about, so who are you wrestling then? If you're a singer, so you're going to wrestle Chris Jericho? So who are you fighting? And you can't be a wrestler and a singer.
And then Chris Jericho in his book says, I said, Dice, I'm a singer. And then Dice says, well, get off his case then. He's a singer. What a fucking asshole. I miss Dice.
He was also
totally picture that,
and that was also in the era where you guys were telling Dice to shut up because he kept talking over interviews. He was coming in all the time.
Oh yeah.
So he was already pissed at you guys. He kept taking Jericho's side or Moon Goose's side, I should say.
Moon Goose, whatever it was. Fucking
you asked Anthony asked if he was going to put somebody in the walls of McQueen instead of the walls of Jericho.
The walls of Jericho.
I know you brought in the audio. Is this audio match up to the book or not really?
One track does.
Okay, because then. We'll get off his case then. He's a singer. And then suddenly, in one fell cigarette puff, it was now Moon Goose and the Dice Man versus Opie and Anthony. Dice got really into what I was saying and became my hype man. When I mentioned that if you look at our songs chronologically, you could see they were recorded before the other bands released their versions. Yeah, Jericho was claiming that everyone ripped him off, and he's not a cover band. He actually came up with these songs.
Well, he said Fozzy was stuck in Japan for 20 years making demos, and then the other bands found the demos and ripped their songs off.
It was so ridiculous. We couldn't go with it.
He had a gimmick with this band. I mean, come on.
Dice didn't know chronologically.
Yeah.
He thought it was choreographing, so he kept asking Chris if he dances.
Yeah, because Dice doesn't understand words.
Yeah, so we did the songs before the other bands released their versions. Dice backed me up by saying, listen, he must have a pretty good band if they do all those dance moves. You a good dancer?
A dancer. You're a good dancer.
So Jericho's coming in here in about a half hour to talk about Undisputed. It looks like it's going to be in a all right book, and we got a nice mention, which is kind of neat. We got some audio from that day. You want to play it? This has never been played on satellite.
Right.
I want to hear some of this.
All right. Ant gets exhausted by Moon Goose.
What's the problem with Kane attacking you when you were trying to...
we haven't moved up to drugs like that. Belt. We're just smoking pot at this point.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, we don't do those types of drugs.
Oh, right. No, William Regal and Chris were fighting, I believe. And then
Why don't you give me some background on this Chris Jericho guy? If you keep insisting on bringing up...
So fucking annoying.
He wouldn't break character, and we were just pounding
talking about all the
it.
storylines that were happening.
Listen how exhausted Ant sounds.
Insisting on bringing up his name. Tell me about him at least. Clue us in so we can be in on the joke.
Well,
please.
he's fighting for the European title, and then Kane's got a problem with him. I just want to know what the problem is with Kane and...
I thought you said he was an American.
Chris, Jesus Christ. What are you doing?
Well, yeah. Is Chris Jericho from Europe?
It's like, come on.
It's Jesus Christ. What are you doing?
We'll promote you.
Come on, stop it.
It's like a half-hour interview, and the whole time you guys were just like, please. Like at one point you said, okay, fine, Moon Goose, can you leave and then have Chris Jericho come in?
Just anything. It was exhausting.
He's right. Chris is right, though. When he to want to talk about anything but that nonsense storylines.
I know.
Hey, what is the masked marauder? He left his hat over someone's... really? He was right. Why is Matt mad? Who gives a shit, really? Because someone stepped on someone's foot. Idiocy.
That's exactly it.
It was more than that.
We wanted to know.
There was some good storylines.
What feud were you asking about?
We don't remember
I have
anymore.
no idea.
I was shocked when Anthony, who now makes fun of me for watching wrestling, dropped William Regal's name.
Well, you know something,
Why
Sam?
is William Regal mad?
We used to watch...
If it wasn't for me as a predecessor, maybe wrestling would have folded and you wouldn't have anything to watch. So I think instead of goofing on me, you should thank me for being such a fan and buying the pay-per-views and supporting Vince McMahon. And at the time, WWF.
Dude, we watched everything.
Yes.
Did you?
Oh, my God, yeah.
That's what
we
it was.
were all in.
The
storylines were
funny.
ridiculous.
They wound up getting they had a PG it down, and then they had a G rating it down. But it was R-rated shit at the time.
Right.
It was funny as fuck. Everyone was in on the act. The acting was terrible.
But The Rock was doing his thing. He was unbelievable back then.
The Rock rocked that mic. He was one of the best fucking guys on the mic.
Yeah.
And him, Stone Cold, and McFoley.
Mick Foley,
the top
fucking
three there.
Triple H, they were all in their prime and shit.
At one point, I guess you guys hadn't established a relationship with him. You guys were saying how much you wanted to have Chris Jericho in studio. And you go, yeah, we had Mankind in here. He was a stiff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Here's more Chris Jericho not admitting he's Chris Jericho and he only would do the Moon Goose thing.
Mike, what's going on?
Hey, Mule Juice McQueer.
Jesus Christ. That's Moon Goose McQueen, let me tell you, Moke.
Hey, douchebag, how do you explain that around the time of all that music was made, you were about 9 years old sucking your thumb?
Oh, well, actually, I'm actually 40 years old, to be honest with you.
We actually juice that you're doing that preserves your body.
Well, we actually lived in an all-male bathhouse in the sauna, and the steam kept us looking youthful.
Oh, I see.
So I look pretty good for 40 years old, jackass.
Got an answer for everything,
all right.
Man.
It was
a long time ago, man.
Just took forever.
10 years ago.
That was because he's actually 40 now.
Jesus.
So he would have been like 29 then.
Do they still do the giant entrances for wrestling?
Yeah.
Like the entrances have always been very huge.
Who is this?
That's Kane.
That's Kane.
I don't know who he is.
He's the Undertaker's brother.
Oh.
What's the matter with you?
This is old, though. He doesn't wrestle with the mask on anymore, right?
No, because at first he wore the mask because he was burned, and then we realized it was psychological scars. Like Dr. Doom.
Like Dr. Doom, yes.
Why are they all in the ring just knocking each other over? What are they doing?
Battle Royal.
And
Battle Royal. What's the matter with you, Jimmy?
And we had Opie and Anthony signs in the audience almost every week.
Yeah.
It got to a point we were well represented. No, that's one of the bushwhackers.
Whoa.
That's a bushwhacker. You got to go back.
The manager's in there with the mustache.
Paul Bearer.
That's who Big A looks like.
Oh, man, when he did that in the Flames, I forgot about that.
Scotty Too Hottie's in there like, oh, shit.
He made Scotty Too Hottie was in there.
Remember Scotty Too Hottie?
Why were they
Scotty
fired?
Too Hottie.
Grandmaster Sexay.
I don't remember that one. Do you, Ed?
I remember Scotty Too Hottie.
Well, you remember Scotty Too Hottie.
How ridiculous was that shit?
Going back about 10, 11 years, Chris Jericho not being Chris Jericho.
Chris, have you seen Lita naked yet?
We just had the debut of the album yesterday.
Yeah, that's a good tack. Something that you won't be able to resist. Chris, have you seen Lita naked yet?
Lita Ford.
Look,
Lita. We met Lita Ford back in the late '80s.
Yeah, we've seen Lita naked.
She's actually fine.
She was real hot. She had some long blonde hair. She had some really big guns. I would like to see Lita Ford on Whip 'Em Out Wednesday.
Yeah.
That was quoted in the book.
What?
The Lita.
Oh, was it?
Lita Ford thing.
I didn't read the whole page yet.
I wouldn't expect you to. That's a lot of.
That's a lot
page.
of reading.
Yeah.
And then finally, Dice. One last clip from back in the day that is now in the new Chris Jericho book.
Tell him about the restraining order and why that can't happen.
What are you laughing about?
Well, I think it's hysterical.
What's so funny
Because he won't come
everything.
Yeah, what's
What,
it?
Dice? I laugh at you, too.
You think it was a joke
Can't
working?
even hear this dad tape.
That's right. We can't even do any chronological steps in here.
Be on MTV.
All right, listen. Sebastian,
I'm not Dice.
Sebastian Bach is on the line.
I'm not even Dice. I'm the group Dobie.
Yeah.
I'm Dobie Dice Clay.
Hey, Ant. Yeah,
That's funny.
Sebastian,
You guys need Dice to write your material for you because you guys are brutal.
No, you like our show. Shut up, Chris.
Shut up, Chris.
Oh, wow.
Chris.
Shut up, Chris. That's tough. Tough guy talk.
Oh, man.
He's trying to be Moon Goose.
I remember when that was Stone Cold Steve Austin got the forklift.
Oh, he lifted up Triple H.
He picked up Triple H in the car and then dumped it on the roof and just squished Triple H and probably killed him.
No, he was actually. I mean, I thought the same thing when I first saw it. He turned out he was all right.
Really?
He was able to make a comeback. We could ask him about it. He'll be in here later this week.
Wow. Yeah, I got to see how his head is from that because that probably would have injured him.
I mean, that was 2000. He's fine now.
Oh, my God. That was a while ago then.
He blew off China to marry the boss's daughter.
Well,
Smart
I mean,
move.
he fell in love, and
That was a brilliant move on
he
his part.
fell in love. That's what it was about.
Wow, did he trade up? Holy shit, in many ways.
I mean, he fell in love with
yeah.
a lovely young woman named Stephanie, and that was it.
That's The Rock?
Yeah, that's The Rock and Triple H. That's the Iron Man match.
And The Rock came back, right? He's going to be part of WrestleMania?
Yeah, The Rock came back on Monday.
See, now he might have to watch WrestleMania.
Oh,
this
really?
year.
What?
Recently? He came back on Monday. He's going to host WrestleMania.
Does he just happen to maybe have a project out?
He specifically went out and said he is not promoting a movie. He simply, and it's not for the money, he loves the fans.
Really?
He said it.
Is it
I mean,
but what movie's coming out?
Then coincidentally, is there a movie?
well, the Super Bowl had the commercial for the new Fast and the Furious movie. He is in that movie.
Oh, okay. So
He's got a lot of
perhaps-
stuff going on.
You want to hear The Rock coming back to the WWE for the first time?
Of course.
Well,
This went down on Monday, right?
Yes.
Was there a
Really?
surprise?
Was a big surprise. Everybody went nuts.
Did you know?
I mean, a lot of people had assumptions that it was going to be him, but nobody would specifically say it. It was too good to be true.
Oh, of course it was. Did his music start?
Yeah.
After 7 long years.
Him. Oh my God. And people go, no.
Yeah.
Finally.
It's 7 years.
Oh my God.
Finally, The Rock has come back to Anaheim.
Goosebumps.
The douche chills.
Which means, finally, The Rock has come back to Monday Night Raw.
I was smiling so big when I was watching this.
Oh yeah.
Which means,
Smiling while I was watching
finally,
this. You are?
The Rock has come back.
To WrestleMania?
Home.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
I guess the second clip's not worth playing.
What do you mean not worth playing?
The first one wasn't.
That's why.
He did.
What, a Tooth Fairy guy is going to put on those outfits again? Gives a fuck.
Tooth Fairy guy.
I like him better as an actor.
He did all his old catchphrases. They tried to dump him out once, but I think they were told not to dump him out.
Really?
Because they don't do that type of language anymore. He told Michael Cole he was going to turn the laptop sideways and stick it straight up his candy ass. They don't do that on TV.
my God.
He's not
hear
allowed
that.
to do his. Is it part of the second clip?
Yeah.
Candy ass.
You were smiling.
Wow.
I was
so they-
smiling so big. I was like, oh.
Faggot.
So they dump out of ass and all that on
Well, especially
WWE?
shoved straight. Yeah, it's TV PG.
Oh, that was
hardcore.
like nothing, man. The Rock got away with saying all
Oh,
that
I
stuff.
know.
Ah, it's sad to hear.
He described himself as pie eating.
Just as sure as The Rock turns WrestleMania into the most epic WrestleMania of all time, and just as sure as anything can and will happen at WrestleMania, and just as sure as every day John Cena walks out here looking like he just got shot out of Barney the Dinosaur's anus, is just...
That shouldn't have flown.
Just as sure as The Rock guarantees 3 things at this WrestleMania.
Yeah.
The Rock guarantees to show the world that he is the most electrifying man in all of entertainment.
Not just sports entertainment.
The Rock guarantees at the drop of a dime, just like that, to lay it to smack it down on all their candy.
Oh, come on.
And the last thing, and most important,
they dump asses?
The Rock and the millions.
And millions.
No, that's not good enough. No.
Billions.
The Rock and the millions. No, that's still not good enough. The Rock is the people's champ. You are the backbone of The Rock. When we speak, our voices are heard. We all say, I bring it. Anaheim, the world is watching. Anaheim, the world is listening. One more time. When The Rock and the millions of The Rock's fans go to WrestleMania and electrify WrestleMania and the world like no one else can. If you're some man,
how exciting!
The Rock.
It's not sing along with the champ.
No, it's not sing along with the champ.
No,
he'd get so mad.
That's when he was a heel, not when he was babyface.
Yeah, not babyface.
Babyface, he could sing along with the champ.
Can we please hear from Dwayne Johnson instead of this buffoon? There's the music, motherfucker.
I got the crowd, because everything went black, and everyone was going like...
People's elbow?
There were like noises.
Come on, people's elbow.
And all the lights were down, and all of a sudden it just went... If you smell
what The Rock
and everyone's crazy.
is cooking.
Oh, and they just went like...
Couldn't believe it. Not The Rock. Not here. It couldn't be.
No, can't be.
It sounded like he was a little rusty doing The Rock.
No, he was in that. He was out there for 20 minutes.
A little rusty.
He didn't sound like The Rock. He sounded like Dwayne Johnson.
Yeah, movie star.
There was a
Dwayne
little
Johnson
bit,
going, wait, how did I used to do this Rock thing?
There's a little bit of disappointment because for the first part of his promo, for the first time ever, he was talking in first person. He was saying I.
Oh, no.
And then he said, like, let me talk to you as Dwayne for a second. Oh. And told the fans how much he appreciated them sticking with him.
And going to his movies?
Yeah. But then The Rock came back and told Michael Cole he shoved the laptop, turn it sideways, stick it straight up his candy ass.
Man, he told him then.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that talk. We want to hear the laptop talk.
And he started taking shots at John Cena. You don't know which direction it's going to go in.
No, he's just wild, man.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? He could end up as like a special referee at WrestleMania, and everybody's going to think he'll turn on John Cena, but then he ends up on John Cena's side. Who knows?
He's gone rogue.
You never know.
He's not taking a chance. He's got a movie career to protect.
Yeah, you think he's doing that?
Right. He's not going to do real bumps.
No.
He's The Rock. He doesn't take bumps. Who's going to knock The Rock on his ass? Nobody.
Good point, Sam.
He dishes it out. He doesn't take it.
Holy shit, we're talking about wrestling again. What's wrong with us?
It's The Rock.
I wouldn't recognize that song.
The Rock's music?
No.
Even though it starts with "If you smell."
Well, if I heard that, I would. But I mean, the music itself.
You should.
All right. Well, the reason we're talking about all this stuff, Chris Jericho coming in about 10 minutes to promote Undisputed, his new book.
Damn.
What's this book about? If you already did his,
This book is his WWE career from start to.
What was the other one then?
Everything leading up to his WWE career.
Well, that's kind of dumb.
Well, it's not dumb. His whole life, his time.
I want the WWE stories.
Well, now he sold 2 books.
Yeah.
Well, I guess he isn't dumb.
Yeah.
You're right.
First one was a bestseller.
Yeah. Well, I'm just joking. Fucking Jericho's a friend of the show. All right. Oh, I found the Charlie Sheen thing that we sort of referenced. We didn't get to because we were doing a lot of shit.
Oh, my God. Charlie Sheen is just... Has he lost his mind, or is he just completely being a realist with this whole thing?
I don't think he lost his mind. I think there's just people out there that this is what they want for themselves, no
That's
matter
it?
what. Yeah.
Like you said, he tried, he
doesn't want...
tried rehab, didn't like
has no desire.
He was sober for how long?
I don't even know.
Like 7 years or something? He
Uh,
didn't drink? And then he was like, oh, that first one. Ooh.
You heard what was on the episode. I don't watch 2.5 Men at
No,
all.
no,
so
I
I don't
don't
even know
either.
what this is about. But
I don't either. I just heard his interview on ESPN radio.
Yeah, we're going to get that too.
What was Jericho's finishing move called?
The Walls of Jericho, I think.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Sam would be sure.
Why you ask?
'Cause I'm looking in his book, and he's showing. It's funny. He's showing a list of possible closing. What are they called?
Finishing moves.
Finishing moves. And I guess some of them were pretty awful, and he's kind of just shows.
Oh, it was like names
really?
that they could have been.
Yeah, the humiliator, buy rate, final countdown. Oh.
Where is that?
Page 10.
Oh, 10, okay. All right. But I guess at the end of 2.5 Men, they throw up, I don't even know what it's called. 2.5 Men creator Chuck Lorre put this message about Charlie Sheen at the end of Monday's episode. I guess they put little messages at the end of every episode, I'm assuming, or something like that. And Chuck Lorre, the creator, had this on the screen after the episode. I exercise regularly. I eat moderate amounts of healthy food. I make sure to get plenty of rest. I see my doctor once a year and my dentist twice a year. I floss every night. I've had chest x-rays, cardio stress tests, EKGs, colonoscopies. I see a psychologist and have a variety of hobbies to reduce stress. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't do drugs. I don't have crazy, reckless sex with strangers. And then he writes, if Charlie Sheen outlives me, I'm going to be really pissed.
Wow.
And that's the creator of 2.5 Men.
See, he's got a sense of humor about it.
At the end of Monday's episode.
They know.
And then you're referring to Charlie Sheen talking to Dan Patrick.
Yes.
Yeah, this was pretty good stuff.
Yeah. Charlie Sheen is, I think he's on the old expressway to...
But he's aware. What do you think of people like Charlie Sheen that have no desire to get sober there, Jimmy?
What's it going to take for him to get sober?
No,
he doesn't want to.
No, he doesn't want to. What's your opinion on that type of thing? You think there's just people out there that have no desire whatsoever?
Sure. I mean,
and would rather, live...
Most of them. The majority of people don't get sober. It's like unfortunate. But yeah, I think he's like... It's hard when he hasn't lost his gig.
Does logically that make sense to you in your head?
Sure.
That some people are just way happier partying and they don't really have anything if they don't have the drugs and the booze.
I don't know. There's a lot of misery that comes with it. It's hard to say that banging porn stars makes you miserable, but there's a lot of misery that comes with it, like whether it's sex or anything. There's always a downside to it.
Where's the upside if you get sober?
You just start to live again. You start to connect with people. It's really weird. Like when I'm not acting out sexually, these weird things I do, like I go out to lunch with people. I just do shit because my whole mind, your whole fucking mind. I know, but your whole mindset's different when you're doing that. So if he stopped that, he would probably connect with people a lot better and just feel a lot more a part of.
He said he had.
Would that make him happier though?
I think most people, if you're smoking coke or if you have to be going to the hospital, you're just putting on a good front. I mean, I know it's great to be getting laid and there's probably a lot of laughs, but no one is at that point where they're going to the hospital and having a great time anymore.
Yeah, after a suitcase of coke gets delivered to your
the risk of going to jail. You're surrounded by people who don't give a fuck about you. There's not one of those people that really gives a shit about him.
No.
He's just Charlie Sheen, the rich actor, jerk off.
Do you think he knows that?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't give a shit about them either.
Right.
You know what I mean? But most people are just surrounding yourself with people who don't care about you at all. Which I guess, look, if you're getting blown by 4 porn girls, it's hard to wonder if they care about you.
Right.
But it's a tough case to make that he shouldn't do it. If he wants to do it, let him do it.
Yeah, sure. Here he is on Dan Patrick a couple days ago.
How'd you lose your voice?
Well, I went back to work and I was banging on the stage door. Hello, where's everybody? And I don't know what happened. I guess they're closed.
They won't let you back in?
Nobody told me. Nobody told me. I just figured, I'm supposed to go back to work because I'm ready.
Wait, you're on hiatus?
No, we're on forced hiatus. They said, you get ready, we'll get ready, and I got ready. I went back. Nobody's there. I don't know what to tell you then. Nobody's there.
Well, wait, how do they tell you? You're the star of 2.5 Men, so who decides when you get to, you can't do 1.5 Men?
No, and that was clearly revealed when they, had to bring me back this year, I don't know what to tell you, man. I'm just, I'm here and I'm ready. They're not. Bring it,
When are you scheduled to start shooting again?
I believe, August of 2014 at this pace. I don't know. It's supposed to be like the 28th or the 29th. That's what it is. It's the 29th and a non-leap year.
Sounds horrible.
He sounds horrible.
Sounds like he's on coke.
Yeah, he sure does.
But it's like you're fucking up a gig. They have to put the show. You're making almost $2 million a week.
Wow.
And the show has to be put on hiatus. What does that tell you? Like, nobody being rational fucks with a gig that's doing that. It's a multi-million-dollar job.
Right.
And a painless job for him. He's good at it. It's fucking...
Can do it in his sleep.
Yeah, it's a machine at this point.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everything flows. He knows everybody. And he is fucking it up.
He sounds like radio guys.
Yeah, he does.
A bunch of them thrown together or something. A little Scott Farrell. There's a little Florentine in there who's, obviously stand-up.
But he's talking really kind of fast. He's also very off the wall with his thoughts and what he's saying. So
he said, "Bring it,
bring it,
bring it
like that, bring it."
God, you watch Platoon. He's so good in that. You watch Wall Street.
It's phenomenal.
So good in that. And
Ferris Bueller.
And now he's just yeah. That's actually who he was.
Yeah, really.
And now he's just a disaster.
Yeah, bring it.
Yeah, I don't know.
Shake it up.
I don't know what he's doing, to be honest with you.
He's. I thought there was another clip where he talks about how being sober is boring or something. Didn't we read that somewhere? I guess we just don't have the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he wasn't doing the right stuff sober. I certainly don't miss getting high, drinking. You know what I mean? It's like, but for him, he associates so much sex and all that stuff with it. But it's like, dude, you're Charlie Sheen. You don't need to smoke coke to get blown by a bunch of girls. It's like, you know what I mean? He spends money anyway on these whores. You don't have to hang out with them. If you just pay them, they'll fuck you.
You don't have to hang out with them.
What are you paying for the illusion that they like you? Like you want to hang out and I never fucking hung out with escorts. For what?
Why doesn't the family get more involved?
Can they do? I mean, I've heard that Martin used to drink and does not anymore.
Right.
But it's like he's an adult. He's a fucking 40-something-year-old man. They can't do anything.
He put out some kind of statement saying something like,
they tried.
Trying, and he only hopes for the best. But I think even they know, what more can you do?
Yeah, he's not ready. It's like, look, if the guy's enjoying it, let him enjoy it. But I just can't comprehend wanting to hang out with a bunch of porn stars. And it just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, fuck them, but what do you got to hang out and drink and laugh?
Right.
They don't like that. You're paying to fuck them, stupid. Pay them.
Right.
Fuck them.
Right.
Well, maybe he likes that, but then likes the hanging out and doing drugs. If he's not alone doing, that would be a little odd to be sitting there by yourself, just snorting coke and have a drink in the air going, woo, woo. He wants people around like a party.
He's embarrassing himself.
Yeah.
You're embarrassing your family. If it's at a point where you're going to the hospital in New York and you're having these altercations where the girl took your wallet and you're freaking out in the hotel, it's not just the guy was drunk or high and somebody broke into his house and said, wow, this guy's laughing and getting blown by 8 people.
Yeah.
Right.
He's bringing it to everyone's attention because he's going to the hospital. That's where it's a problem. It's affecting his work, and he's going to the hospital. If he's just getting high alone and nobody knew about it, who cares?
Thank God for Emilio Estevez's horrid career as an embarrassment to the family, because he looks a little better. At least he's got a hit show.
No kidding.
I think Emilio's directing. Or
Maybe he's proving a point.
Is he?
I think so.
Yeah, directing what?
He did a Bobby Kennedy movie or something. It's supposed to be good.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah,
he's actually on the other side of the camera doing well.
Oh, is that what he's doing these days?
Yeah, he's one of those guys that moved to the other side of the camera.
Well, fuck me running.
Sure.
I had no clue what Emilio was up to.
Judd Nelson?
What's he up to?
I think he's on the other side of the camera, too.
They always go to the other side of the camera.
I think he's doing well there.
I'm on the other side of the camera now.
I don't know. Someone's saying Joe C., Staten Island, he's a rock star. Who cares? He's just living that rock star fucking life.
He is, but those guys always drop dead before they're supposed to.
You got to stop the rock star lifestyle at his age.
Yeah.
It's great through your 20s and 30s maybe, but after that, there's plenty of guys that have dropped dead long before that.
It's like it's all fun and we hear the stories, but you don't see the misery of well, how about the whatever happened with his wife in Colorado or his ex-wife or whatever it was? There was the arrest or what? It's like
a little domestic going on or something.
Yeah, if you're doing that shit, it's not fun anymore.
Right.
Like, I mean, Ozzy, we hear all these great stories about what a maniac he was, and but then he tries to kill his wife, and he fucking does things that you're like, oof. Like, you got so lucky there that you're just not in jail for the rest of your life. Like, it's not just pissing outdoors anymore. It's awful
yeah,
stuff.
the guy could actually go to jail.
Yeah, it's like, what happens if one of these girls overdoses? Eventually, one of them is going to die in your fucking house.
Yeah.
With cocaine that you bought.
Have to call Michael Corleone.
Yeah, right.
She doesn't have any family. It's okay. We'll take care of it.
Satan in Virginia. Satan.
What up, guys? Hey,
Hi, Dev.
Jimmy, how long were you an actual drug addict for? I mean, I'm going to completely acknowledge that you love to bang whores. And
Yeah. I was. It was mostly alcohol. It was through my teenage years. A few years. It didn't last that long, bro.
All right. Well, I'm just, because basically, I mean, Charlie Sheen's a fucking disaster. There's no question about that. But I just, I guess whenever you comment on drug addiction, it just kind of throws me off, because I know you really didn't have a problem with that.
But I did. My main one was alcohol, and normal people don't behave the way I behaved. Normal people don't pull box cutters on people or cut themselves or just call the FBI. You know, I knew I would have been dead by the time I was 25. I never would have kept going. So it doesn't last that long, but it doesn't. I don't need it to.
All right. Now, how is your, like, are you doing pretty good with the sex addiction now, or are you still?
Yeah, the hard part of the sex addiction, it's not hard to really not fuck people. The hard part is like it's like the fucking pornography. It's the spending hours where you fucking, you know what I mean? It's like you start like the way I trigger myself is I'll look at one thing and then all of a sudden I'm on fucking XTube or I'm on PornTube and it's 3 hours later and I'm not blowing a load and I'm doing it to escape. It's like
is this a problem?
It's just but your dick is like a fucking piece of knotted rope. You're like, what am I doing? I don't want to talk to anybody. I'm fucking no. It's not. You know what I mean?
I acknowledge that. Yeah, I have a serious porn addiction too. Anytime I, go out of town for training or something, I find myself just fucking bored.
Right.
Just scoping porn for 3 hours. But
well, you convince yourself that it's a part of who you are. Like when I write, a lot of times I start looking at porn, and it's like if I hit a wall writing, I look at porn. It's like this weird thing I do, and then I go back to the writing, so I don't sit there just in this thick room with no thoughts when I'm writing.
At least you got writing. I just sit there and beat off for 3 hours.
Yeah.
All right. Well, good deal, dude. By the way, I fucking love your comedy. You need to come to Virginia again.
Thank you. I'm sure I will.
He's going to be in Cincinnati.
Yes, this weekend.
Why are they blurring
Funny
out?
Bone.
I'm sorry.
That's okay, buddy.
Why are they blurring out the faces of the Egyptian savages that are around Lara Logan in the famous picture?
I don't
now
know.
That's like just before she was attacked.
Unless that was her crew and they're protecting them. I don't know.
Or
I don't think it's her crew.
Or maybe they didn't get the rights. The lawyers might have said you have to bleep it.
No, it's probably those guys, then people are thinking those were the guys that sexually assaulted
That's what
her.
I'm thinking. But who gives a fuck? What are they going to sue?
I'm just saying, maybe they don't want to go down that road because maybe those guys weren't the ones.
How could they sue?
But who cares?
I'm not saying it's right, by the way. I'm
I know.
I'm thinking what
Oh, I know absolutely what you're saying. That's the same thing I'm thinking is why they did it. But why do it anyway? These are fucking.
You see that picture and you just assume everyone in that picture, got
2 seconds
got
later,
a taste.
had their uncut cocks
right.
out.
So I wonder if anybody actually fucked her, like in a mob of
people. It says brutally and sustained sexual assault.
It has to be.
It has to be.
Fucking animals.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Fucking animals. Keep going over there, Americans. Keep fucking standing in the groups and trying to show them jubilant. Let them treat each other the way they want to treat each other.
Just to hear the jackass news people going like, and it must have just been a wonderful, the jubilation in there, the people look great, and just to know that was going on right when they were saying that. Yuck.
Yeah. Dictators are needed.
Listen, we got to cut the short. We can go back to it, certainly. We got Chris Jericho, so we're going to take a small break.
Oh, yeah.
Get Chris Jericho in to promote his new book.
Yeah.
Good friend of the show. Stay there.
Hey, this is Chris Jericho, the sexy beast of the WWE and the lead singer of Fozzy, and this is Opie and Anthony. Listen up, kids.
Virus, Sirius XM. This is the Opie and Anthony Show. Opie and Anthony.
Sounds like Fozzy to me, huh?
Yes. Should bring Chris.
Let's get Chris Jericho in here. His new book is
him.
called Undisputed: How to Become the World Champion in 1,372 Easy Steps. Wise ass. Chris Jericho, what's up, brother?
Yes.
We are flattered that we made your book, sir.
Absolutely. Do you remember that day?
Of course.
Do you remember that story? First of all, call in the extra security because Norton and Jericho are sitting next to each other.
Yeah, pull a hearse for Norton.
Yeah, we talked about that too.
Well, that story will go in the next book. That was that was hilarious,
that was
man.
a good one.
But actually, Jimmy and I actually did a show together, Z-Rock, and we had a blast on it.
It was great.
So,
it was actually really good.
Yeah, we had a good time.
No, we said you guys got over that.
We did. We did.
A long time ago, but it made great radio.
It did. It
should have made this book.
Well, no, because the time frame of when that happened isn't within this book's time. So this one ends in like 2007.
Chris, I was calling you a dummy, and I'll tell you why. Because I said. Because Sam says this is the book that has all the WWF, WWE stories in it.
Right.
And I'm like, that's dumb. The first book should have had that. And then Jimmy reminded me, well, no, because it was a bestseller. So he's doing it.
Right.
He knows exactly what he's doing.
And if you actually would have read the first book, you would understand why it was written that way. Because I had so many stories and tales to tell from my time before the WWE. It's not my career. It took me 9 years before I got to the WWE.
Right.
It's not like now where it's like 9 months for guys. So there was a lot of stories to tell and a lot of places that I went to get there.
Hold on. I want to slow you down. So these
I'm on
guys,
track. I'm talking too fast.
No, but an interesting thing you just said. These guys coming up are getting right to the big leagues in 9 months.
Yeah, but that's just the way that it is nowadays. I mean,
but you had to like wait your turn and really
but the thing,
put in your time.
The difference is I wouldn't change it because I got to hone my craft. You know, it's like being like a stand-up comedian and working on all the little dives. So by the time you get onto Leno, see, I'm doing a shameless Norton pandering here.
Yeah,
you really got your game down pat and you kill it, and that's what it was like for me when I got to the WWE. Although it wasn't like that in the first year and a half. It was a nightmare when I first got to the WWE, and that's kind of the crux of the book as well.
The difference with the WWE I have found is when we were watching a lot. We openly admit we don't watch as much.
Right.
Like when you came in with Fozzy the first time, we were all in. We watched all the pay-per-views, all the Raws, whatever Vince threw at us, we were watching. We've moved on just because our lives are different.
Yeah.
But the point back then, it took forever for them to introduce a new wrestler. And when I do take a peek or I talk to Sam about wrestling here and there, it seems like these guys are like just coming through much quicker.
Well, yeah, and you don't see the same type of experience level. You don't see the same type of knowledge. And that was the thing, like for me, because I've been around the world doing this for 9 years, when I got to the WWE and faced a lot of animosity at first, I was able to reevaluate and, reinvent myself because I had all these different experiences I could fall back onto. Guys now don't have those experiences, both in the ring and in life. You know what I mean? Right. So it's a different world where there's not as many great, charismatic characters because guys aren't taking as many chances because they're not really too sure. They don't have that confidence level to be able to do that.
Yeah.
And you were always one of those guys.
I like that chapter.
Yeah, this is great.
You were always one of those guys that were bigger than wrestling. You were going to do more.
Well, I always treated it like show business because when I was a kid, I was a musician way before I was a wrestler. I've been playing in bands since I was 12 years old. So I always wanted to be a wrestler and a rock star. Those were my two dreams. I was stupid enough to have these two ridiculous dreams when I was a kid and stupid enough to chase after both of them. So for me, when I first started wrestling, it wasn't about, Hulk Hogan or Ricky Steamboat. The guy that I wanted to be in the ring was like the Paul Stanley of wrestling or the David Lee Roth of wrestling. Like so much charisma and personality and be like the party host because I was a smaller guy. So how could I raise up through the ranks? I could be the biggest character, have the biggest personality, and it didn't matter what my physical size was. So I've always treated it that way as a result.
Right on.
I'm reading this chapter about just where he's meeting Ozzy. I mean, Zach and Ozzy. I'm just reading Zach and Ozzy stories. It's great.
Well, Zach and I got in a beard growing contest in 1999 or 2000 or so, and obviously Zach killed me. His beard is down to his fucking cock now. But that's how it started. We had a beard growing contest, and that story and many more is in this book.
Yeah, the book's going to do very well. We were playing old clips when you came in.
Yeah.
As Fozzy the first time. Man. We were so frustrated that you would not break character.
Oh, was that funny?
And then Dice decided to take your side.
Because he was kind of confused, or he was just working that he was.
Is he
a wrestler or a singer? And then I said, because what happened was, for people that don't know, we started Fozzy as an 80s cover band called Fozzy Osbourne. And because Chris and Rich from Stuck Mojo were in the band, there was like a bidding war for a record contract for whatever reason, and Johnny Zazula, who signed Metallica and Anthrax, signed Fozzy as a cover band and said, are you guys ready to become the next Metallica? And we were like, we're wearing fucking wigs and playing covers. So we started out, so that's when I said, listen, we can't just be a cover band that's boring. Let's do like a Blues Brothers, Traveling Wilburys, Spinal Tap type thing, have alter egos, and play it like Andy Kaufman did with Tony Clifton. When you see Jericho, it's Jericho. When you see Moon Goose, it's Moon Goose, and there will never be a character break. And that's what we did. But and when we came into your studio, I would not break character. I wouldn't do it. And you guys were getting really pissed off,
really frustrated.
So Dice was with you guys, and he was confused or stoned or just not caring. And he's like, what is he, a wrestler? Is he a singer? What is it? I'm Dice. I'm a singer. I'm Moon Goose McQueen from Fozzy. And I mentioned that, I said that, chronologically, if you look at the songs we're playing, they were stolen by other bands, blah, blah, blah. And he said, so you do a lot of dance moves? And it took me a couple minutes to realize that he thought chronologically was choreography.
Of course he did.
He got that
Why
mixed
wouldn't
up.
he think that?
So then I was like, I'm totally in on this. Yeah,
right.
So it was kind of like, so the name of the chapter is actually Moon Goose and the Dice Man versus Opie and Anthony. So there you go. You guys are immortalized forever in print.
We certainly appreciate that. That's for sure.
But the cool thing is, I've been on your show a dozen times since then. It actually was the first time. It was the start of a
we were
fun
excited.
relationship.
We were excited because we really liked you in the WWF.
That was what the most frustrating part was, because at the time we were like Opie said, completely in. Yeah. And there was a lot of storylines and action going on. So it's like, Chris Jericho's coming in. Let's talk to him about all these things that are going on. Maybe we'll get some behind-the-scenes comments and shit like that. And you would not mention one fucking thing about Chris Jericho, WWF, nothing. And we're just like, come on. At one point, I think I get so disgusted. What do I just say? I said, I go, Jesus, Chris, could you just for a second give it to us?
Throw us a bone here, please.
Well, we did they used to have a show called Sunday Night Heat that was on MTV, and they used to do it out of the World in Times Square when the WWE owned that. So Fozzy was playing that night, and it's still when we were doing the Fozzy gimmick. And I remember talking to Vince McMahon, because he didn't want me to be Moon Goose, he wanted me to be Chris Jericho. I'm like, Vince, they're two separate characters. It's like, he goes, well, you can't be trying to fool our fan base by playing a character. And I was like, what are you talking about? This
and I said, an entire fucking empire out of that.
And I said, I'm doing an Andy Kaufman, Tony Clifton thing. I mean, have you ever heard of that? He's like, no. I said, don't you know who Andy Kaufman is? I don't give a fuck about Andy Kaufman or Tony Clifton. You're not going out there. So we had this big argument about Moon Goose McQueen. I'd been in the company for 6 months. No wonder I almost got fired 6 weeks into my career there.
And Vince should study Andy Kaufman. He's perfect for Vince.
The Kaufman Clifton.
We had Clifton in here.
Did you really?
It was kind of cool.
When?
Because I'm a huge Andy Kaufman fan. It's got to be over a year ago.
So it was his manager still doing it?
Or I just saw him in the airport and Friday night and going to Vegas. He walks up. He goes, "Hey, Bob Zamuda."
Yeah,
Bob
Zamuda, right? Yeah, it was Bob, and he was dressed as Clifton, and he wouldn't break character. He had the girls and stuff. And
amazing. Yeah.
He was going to the Bunny Ranch. Those guys love hookers. Him and Andy apparently partook.
Well, what do you think of Vince?
It's funny because in this book, I mean, when I first got to the WWE, literally, like I said, 6 weeks in, I came in with the biggest entrance in history, coming in with The Rock, doing this big confrontation. I had the big build-up, like you said, with the vignettes and the countdown clock. And literally 6 to 8 weeks later, I was sitting in his office, and I thought he was going to give me a pat on the back for a good job. And basically, he was like, "You are the drizzling shits. You're green as grass. Your contract isn't worth the paper it's printed on."
Drizzling shits.
Drizzling shits.
You were the drizzling shits.
I had never been told I was the drizzling shits
before. Wow. What were you thinking?
What I was thinking was, it was like 9 years it took me to get there, so fuck if I was going to be drummed out of here in 9 weeks. So I just sat there. I was like Kevin Bacon in Animal House. "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" "Thank you, sir. May I have another?" So that's when I realized, man, I need to change some things around and do some things differently. But that's the thing about the book, is it kind of does have a real evolving relationship with me and Vince. How we started out as real, butting heads and.
But what's his problem? Is he too controlling? Because I remember that time very clearly, and you were killing it. So how could he possibly have a problem with you? And we've talked to enough of you guys over the years, and we've noticed there's a love-hate thing going on. I mean, Mick Foley does this show a lot, and he wanted to be that commentator, but he told us stories about how Vince is yelling in his ear, "You're doing it wrong, say this, say that."
Yeah.
Like, he seems very controlling, and does that get to you guys after a while?
It did in the early days, but at this point, I actually have a real deep respect for Vince, and it's reciprocal. But when I first got there wasn't that respect, and it did drive me crazy because I really was behind the eight ball, because he doesn't care what you've done outside of his walls. So you really have to prove yourself to him over and over and over again. Yeah, it does make sense, but I didn't realize that when I first got. I'm Chris Jericho. I was a star in Japan. I was a star in Mexico. What the fuck, and it wasn't that way. He could care less about it. And once you figure that out, I mean, he really did teach me a lot about wrestling. And he was always talking about life lessons. I'm not trying to teach you about wrestling. I'm trying to teach you about life lessons. And now, being 40 years old and looking back to when I was, 30, 29 years old working for him, it makes sense. It's like your dad. Your dad used to be pissed off and I hate this guy. And then when you get older, it's like all he was trying to do was teach me things so I could be a better person, not to sound too cheesy.
Sure. But is he intimidated by anybody, do you think? Or is he kind of the top dog in around anybody?
He is the alpha male. He's not intimidated by anybody, as far as I can say, and whether it's Jesus Christ himself, he don't give a shit. So he's a very intimidating presence. He's larger than life, and that's another thing to have to get over as well. But once you do, he's one of the guys. He loves AC/DC. He loves Rolling Stones. He loves babies. Stuff that you would never expect. Much to popular belief.
Yeah, that was the question I was going to ask. If he actually has fun with his life.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
You can have a good time with him.
We've had him on. He doesn't do our show often, and it's been a long time at this point. But
yeah, he's a good cat.
We were never able to really figure him out.
Well, he's a maverick, man. He started this whole thing when everyone said it was going to fail. It's like all of us when we first said we want to get into show business, radio, comedy, music, whatever, wrestling. People said, "Oh, you'll never do it. You'll never do it." And it's the same with Vince. And when you finally get past that, it's like he had this dream and made it happen. And so did you and you and you and me. So it's like you have that thing, in common with him.
Let's get back to the book, Undisputed, and I love the chapter title. So. Very, very creative. Like, never trust the Loch Ness Monster.
Well, that stemmed from I had a dream one night that Vince hired the Loch Ness Monster to wrestle me in a pay-per-view. So I had this dream, and the finish of the match was supposed to be that the Loch Ness Monster was going to swallow me. And I was like, Vince, I can't trust you can never trust the Loch Ness Monster. He's going to eat me. And Vince was like, because Vince is very much, I wouldn't ask you to do anything that I wouldn't do, pal. And when I said that, he said, well, Chris, I was in his mouth this morning. He did a great job with it. So I told Vince about this dream that I had. And I was like, Vince, I had this dream last night that, you signed the Loch Ness Monster to wrestle me. He goes, Loch Ness Monster, huh? Is he available? Yeah, so, and that's, like I said, another cool thing about the book is, I'm at the pinnacle of wrestling. I'm working for the WWE. I'm wrestling against thousands a night. And then the next night I'm playing, in front of 15 people with my band Fozzy in Peoria, Illinois. So it's like the dual story of how I get the band off the ground in one aspect, as I was kind of at the top of the ladder in the other aspect, and kind of how I made that other dream.
Getting back to the Loch Ness Monster.
Sorry.
Who didn't you trust in the WWF at the time?
You're trying to get Freud on me here, trying to figure out what the fucking thing was.
To represent.
I don't believe in that dream reading crap, but that one seems very obvious that there was someone you just was look, man, I don't trust that guy with my, my neck or whatever.
I think it was just all the pills I took that night or something. Yeah. All the drugs I was taking that day.
Were you taking a lot of drugs?
No, I'm joking.
You never know with you guys. Some of you guys have openly admitted it.
I was never a drug guy. I just drank a lot to the point where I was listening to what Jimmy was saying earlier of becoming somebody else. They actually had a nickname for me. They would call me Drunkico.
Drunkico. Yeah. Holy shit.
Drunkico is actually one of the chapter titles. Yeah. Drunkico would come out and throw glasses against the wall, and actually there's a story in there. Me and Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden and Paul Gargano, the guy who was the editor for Metal Edge, and my friend from Calgary, Speewee, who loves Opie and Anthony. We went to Broadway to see Sebastian Bach do Jekyll and Hyde.
Right. Yeah.
Afterwards, we went to this pub and just got fucking totaled and pouring beer on each other and spitting alcohol in each other's face and squirting ketchup on each other's heads and just getting that type of drunk where Drunkico would take a drink and throw it against the wall, take another and throw it against the wall. And then I cornered Adrian Smith and told him, I'm going to tell you every song that you've ever written in Iron Maiden. Well, I know every song I've ever written. I don't fucking care. Prisoner. Gangland. The Evil Let Men Do. 2 Minutes to Midnight. and he's just sitting there like staring at me. This guy's like an idiot. And then rolling on the floor and smashing glasses. And finally the next day, Sebastian Bach, one of the craziest guys ever in rock and roll, gets this letter from the pub. Dear Sebastian, you're welcome to come to my club at any time, but Chris Jericho and his friends are never allowed again. That type of behavior is intolerable. Drunkico strikes again.
Drunkico. I like the name. There's a chapter, and hold on to your fucking hat, man.
What do you got?
Vince loves apes.
Oh, yeah?
Vince loves apes. Yeah.
What's up with that?
What's up with that is I was doing this thing where I would always, you guys remember, always berate Stephanie and always like call her a slut and a whore.
Right,
and
yep.
This is the boss's daughter, and I would go to tell Vince, Vince, I want to call Stephanie a slut today, or, and he'd be like, well, just make sure you pause so that the crowd can react afterwards. The consummate businessman, right?
Yeah.
So we were doing this thing in Anaheim where I was going to come out there and insult Stephanie, and so we kind of had the thing all written, and then the head writer called me and said, listen, we have a little bit of a problem. I said, what? He said, well, we're doing this thing with Planet of the Apes, the movie that was remade by Tim Burton.
Right.
And Vince loves apes. So he wants the apes to be involved in your promo with Stephanie. And I said, what does he want us to do? He says, I don't know. He wants you to figure it out. So
that's great. Thanks.
How the fuck am I going to figure out, I got to bring apes down? And so we actually in a really crazy way made it work where I said, Stephanie has slept with every man, woman, child, hermaphrodite on this planet. She's had so much sex in this world, she had to go to another planet to find, conquest, like the planet of the apes, for example. And here come the apes all walking down like apes. And they came to the ring with a box of a present for her, and you open the box and it was a cake, and then we put the old cake in the face routine, and people cheered, and she was mortified, and the apes danced around with their limbs jimbling and jombling, and that's how I made that work.
And Vince Vaughn just going, great job.
Dude,
great job humiliating my daughter.
When I came through the curtain, he gave me a standing ovation. I had 5-star matches that he didn't even look at. He gave me a standing ovation for that stupid shit.
Will he tell you if he doesn't like a match? Like if you go backstage, will he go like that was he did something wrong?
He'll take his glasses down like this and go. You guys can't see, but he gives you the old the finger, the crook of the finger. Yeah. Come here, and you go sit down and be like, takes off his headphones, takes off his glasses, and then just tells you exactly, gives you a little what for, as Buddy Rich would say.
What is it like? What you weren't putting your all into that? Or?
Yeah, or like what the fuck were you doing? What do you mean? That was exact opposite of what I wanted, and this was bad, and your instincts were terrible, and this was wrong.
Wow, that's gotta suck.
Yeah, he has no problems telling you if he thinks he didn't like something, and sometimes he's right, and sometimes you're thinking, man, that's just. The crowd was going nuts, and I loved it, but it just depends what kind of mood he's in.
I'm fucking bruised up and beaten, and I come back here to get yelled at by this guy.
I just did a segment with apes, and now you're yelling at me. Now you want me to lose to the Loch Ness Monster?
This photo of you choking Adrian from Iron Maiden, too. You got some great pictures in here.
Yeah, well, that was cool, too, Jimmy, because it was like I was able to finagle myself backstage to Maiden in 2000, which was the first time I'd ever met them. And Adrian's wife was there and said, oh, you're Chris Jericho, the wrestler. My son is a big fan. Can you come call him? So here I am like, oh, my God, I'm going to call Adrian Smith's son. And that was the first time I ever realized, like, I'm not just some fanboy anymore. I actually have a little sway myself. And then Adrian and I became friends because of that, which was like the first time I ever experienced that. Like when you get to a certain level of fame or celebrity or whatever in one area, and all these other guys dig that too. So.
And you said Zach was a fan too.
Oh, Zach is just a great guy. I mean, you know how he is. Yeah. So he loved the Ultimate Warrior. He's obsessed to this day with the Ultimate Warrior. Bro, how's James Hellwig? Tell me about James Hellwig. How big was James Hellwig?
Who doesn't love watching the Warrior?
The Warrior,
especially now. Jesus Christ, he's out of his mind.
Yeah, always. He actually changed his name to Ultimate Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
That's his name on his
Warrior.
He gets pulled over by the cops, and the license says Warrior.
Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah, Ultimate Warrior. Exactly. So.
What a nut.
The book looks really good. Man.
Shit.
Oh, thanks, man. Yeah, it's getting a lot of buzz on it, a lot of good reviews and all that.
Also signings too, to plug the signings.
Damn.
Today there's a signing. You have to. These are the way to come and you meet Chris and you get your book signed. Today at noon at Borders. It's 100 Broadway here in the city. And then tonight, if you can't make that one, it's 8 o'clock at the Book Review. It's a speaking and a book signing, and that's at 313 New York Avenue in Huntington.
It's my hometown there.
Yeah.
Huntington.
That bookstore is great. My restaurant's right up the street.
I think we've been there before.
Yeah.
And tomorrow you're in Boston. Barnes & Noble at 7 o'clock. on Beacon Street in Boston.
Very cool.
The signings would be mobbed.
You've done quite a few books too.
I've done
right,
a few, yeah. It's been a while.
Three maybe? Or
two books, and I mean the book signings I've done a lot of. 2 books.
That's great, man.
Hey,
yeah.
It's fun, yeah.
You mentioned Benoit there.
Yeah. I mean, you couldn't write a book without mentioning it. And that's the thing about this book that's different from the first one. There are a lot of, it's a little bit of an emotional roller coaster, and there's some really heavy, deep things to talk about. But especially in the Benoit situation, it was so cool for me to, not cool, but cathartic, I guess is the word, to write about this and get it out of my system to put on the printed page. So now I don't ever really have to talk about it. If you want to know my thoughts and issues, you can just read about it. And
were you guys close?
He was my best friend in wrestling. Yeah, absolutely, man. That. Yeah, absolutely. Beyond. So that's why, I mean, I had to deal with this.
I just want to ask one. Did you see him changing? Did you see any?
Well, I talk about it in the book. You saw him changing a lot after Eddie Guerrero died, because Eddie was his best friend. And, but he was a great guy, very polite, very positive, like a mentor at first, and then became a very good friend. But he was a strange guy. Like, especially when you look back, and that's kind of what I talk about a lot. Certain things that happened years before would be like he wouldn't laugh at something that was like the funniest bit you'd ever seen. I don't know, Dumb and Dumber or something ridiculous like that. And if you played that for him, he would just sit there and kind of like go, nothing. And you think this is funny? Oh, it's funny. I'm laughing inside. Oh, that type of thing. And then if somebody threw up on the street, he would find that the funniest thing. So that type of a guy, So and like I said, it's interesting to kind of separate this guy that I knew for 15, 16, 18 years from the guy in the last 2 or 3 days of his life. I mean, it's a very strange, talking about it, and you want to laugh and stuff, but then there's always this black cloud hanging over it. Of course, yeah. I think I tried to explain to people that didn't know that he was, he was a human being. He was, he wasn't just some kind of a crazy maniac monster. He was a great guy, loved his family, loved his kids. I would have left my kids with him and had no problems, no reservations, more than almost anybody else, in the world. I would have left them with him. So, that's why to be able to write about it and kind of dig into it a bit was very, like I said, very cathartic for me, and I'm glad I was able to do that.
You guys are almost like fucking like soldiers on a battlefield, because a lot of wrestlers have died, and at much younger ages than they're supposed to. How do you deal with stuff like that? Because it is almost like you would get a post-traumatic stress.
Yeah,
from some of this stuff.
You certainly know a lot
of your buddies dying like that.
Yeah, you know a lot of them pretty well that have passed.
I mean, like I said, Eddie was a great friend of mine too, and that his death is in there too. It's what the worst part of it is it really desensitizes you. I mean, in my first book, I wrote about this guy called Art Barr that passed away. He was a friend of mine that I worked with in Mexico. Jesus. And that was the first guy that I'd ever knew that had died, of drugs. Since then, I could probably tell you, and this is not a joke, probably 40 guys and girls that I was friends with or knew or was best friends with in some cases that have passed away.
Jesus Christ.
So yeah, it is.
40,
it's crazy. But you become, it's like, you hear so and so died. It's like, well, I saw that coming. Or, well,
and again, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Like if you hear soldiers talk about going out. And the first time one of their buddies gets it or something, they're freaking out. And then after a full tour or 2 tours, it becomes like, you almost become like, I don't want to be friends with anybody because
you don't want to get too attached.
Yeah.
The good thing is that the business has changed now. So it's really, I mean, it's almost, if you're like, I kind of came in right in between old and new. Mm-hmm. So I had that crazy side, but never got into the real serious stuff.
Yeah.
But now guys they play video games and Guitar Hero, and they don't do anything, and it's like, you guys are really lame now. But it's
you swung to the really lame.
Exactly.
Was it the schedule you guys had to keep?
I just think it's just the way it was. If you look at guys in the 80s, or even rock bands, 70s, 80s, they're all crazy. 90s bands now aren't
doing the same thing
as crazy.
We talk about that because we've been around long enough now where we were backstage seeing all these bands partying and like just out of their minds, and now they're like, juicing carrots and fucking apple juice and having a salad, and it's like, who are these guys? They're supposed to be rock stars.
But Zach and I, when we first met, it was nuts. I mean, we used to get loaded and then go play pedestrian chicken, where you would lie in the middle of the street in in downtown Manhattan at like 4 a.m. and just lie there. And it's like, well, nobody's going to run you over and just see if cars would come. Like you'd be that fucking loaded where you're just going to lie in the street. I dare someone to run me over. Like that's smart, right? Now, a couple times we've hung out, we're drinking tea, and it's like Zach's totally straight now, and so you don't want to drink in front of him. And as you move on in life, if you're lucky enough to get past that stuff and still be alive, you have to kind of really appreciate that and not fuck around with it.
Can be great songs were almost not written. How many fucking riffs would have been missed?
Right. Pedestrian chicken.
One shitty cab could have ended a lot of great riffs without it depressing. Are you a big Beatles fan?
A huge Beatles fan. They're my favorite band.
You're writing, I dragged a chrome across my head like you're talking.
Woke up, got out of bed, and dragged a comb across my head.
And you refer to your mom as Sweet Loretta Modern. That's obviously from the...
Yeah, and it's funny. I always thought that was the lyric, but it's actually Sweet Loretta Martin, which I found out just writing this book, but it'll always be Sweet Loretta Modern.
I thought it was modern,
to
too.
me. Yeah, exactly.
I thought that, too.
What's your favorite Beatles song?
Probably, I'm pretty bad because I'm really with the obscure stuff. I love "I Want You." She's so heavy from Abbey Road. I can put that on and just. I think that's one of the first heavy metal songs of all time. I also used to have a show on the Boneyard, which Jimmy does now.
That's right. Yeah, you were
very good. I had it for 2 years, and I used to get in trouble for playing heavy Beatles or heavy Black Crowes, and now they play those songs. But I actually got fired because of that. That and I called Oprah fat.
Fired for that?
Yeah, you can't call Oprah fat. She's the cash cow. And I was like, choose your words wisely. But yeah, because they wanted me to just do all, they were really going through this. It was a hairband channel. It wasn't when I was hired. It was just a heavy metal channel.
But see, from the other side, if you're a listener and Chris Jericho is playing like his music, you want to know what Chris Jericho's into. Who gives a fuck if maybe one or two are borderline not hairbands?
I
never
wasn't hired
understood that
I don't
logic,
either because
they're sort of doing that to Jimmy a little bit, right, Jimmy?
We've had some. I like your show. I remember when your show was on. I remember.
But Jimmy's got a lot of fans, and now they're listening to the Boneyard going, wow, what does Jimmy consider music in this sort of genre?
That's right.
And it's fine to go completely off the playlist.
Well, because to me, it wasn't it was a metal show. So there was metal in the 60s, Sabbath, but the precursor to Sabbath was some of that heavy Beatles stuff. And, if you want to play Any Way You Want It by Journey, that's just as heavy as anything Poison has ever done. But, they got really strict about that because there was, how it is, program directors change. Yeah. But, I mean, I'm actually envious of your show because I love doing that. It's the one thing in my career when I got tanked, I was like, fuck. Yeah, they're like that, man. It was fun.
Yeah, program directors, they're just trying to justify their jobs because they're
well, yeah, and you know how
useless.
the business goes, man.
They're completely useless.
Exactly. They're jaded too. Like as a listener, like I know when I don't hear something that's a little different and go, turn the station off. I mean, I'll listen to it. I don't panic if it's like
especially
check it out, right?
Yeah, especially if it's a personality like yourself or Chris Jericho.
If you're a fan of the guy, you're going to check out because you trust his judgment. And check this out. I think you'll like it.
And you were bringing in a lot of listeners because it's Chris Jericho.
I think I did. I had the show for 2 years straight. So, but it was fun,
not even a question. There's no doubt in my mind.
It was fun, man.
But the book looks. Anything else you want to say about the book? I would love to just read, chapter titles and have you talk. Well, I don't want to give away the whole fucking book.
Jimmy's reading a chapter called MC Hammered, and this is after 9/11. I was on a plane from L.A. to Philly. I was on a red eye. And red eyes are the shits. You're trying to sleep, but you can't really, and the sun is coming up. So I was just about to go to sleep, and I heard this voice man going, "Right, this is stupid." And it's like, what the hell is that? So I'm looking back, and there's some businessman in the aisle seat, still like kind of in the first few rows. He's just fucking loaded, and he's belligerent. So he's yelling like, where are we landing? We gotta land. So I said to the stewardess, I was like, can you cut him off? She goes, sir, he's been cut off a couple hours ago. So just, she's like, kind of mind your own business. I'm like, what the fuck is with this bitch? Trying to sleep. So the guy keeps going. He's like, stupid plane. And so I finally get up and I go into his face. I said, listen, people are trying to sleep. I'm sick of hearing your whiny voice. Shut the fuck up, please. The stewardess taps me on the shoulder, sir, you're going to have to sit down. You're making a disturbance. I'm like, I'm making a disturbance? What the fuck is with this chick? So we finally land, and now I'm really grumpy. And we stop on the tarmac, and it's raining. And the guy's like, I got to get off this fucking plane. They sound like Tony Clifton. So we finally stand up. I tell the guy, there's kids on this flight. Stop swearing. Stop being an idiot. And other passengers are like clapping. Like finally someone said something. And this is after 911. Like, you're going to do something with this guy? So as I'm walking off the plane, the steward's like, sir, you really need to have an attitude check. And I'm like, what the fuck is with this? Did she have like a Mile High Club experience? Anyways, I go to the bathroom. I go to take a leak. I look beside me, and MC Hammered, as I call him, is pissing. He just comes and puts his briefcase down and starts pissing right beside me and has no idea that I'm the guy that was talking to him. So I just look over and I see his briefcase on the floor and I'm peeing and I was like, oh, fuck it. So I take a little bit of a quarter turn.
Take a turn?
I just peed all into his briefcase there. And then I said, you have a nice day, bud. And
how satisfying.
Yes, revenge.
Nice.
Sweet revenge.
How great is it to be big, though, to just be able to walk up to the guy who really is belligerent on a plane and just go, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
God, I would love to do that.
Movie theaters where you could just turn around and go, shut up.
Right.
Yeah,
but that was a crazy time around then, though, man. Like, to have a guy yelling and screaming like that. And I had to fly 3 days after 911 because we had to do a show in Memphis after that. And, that was just to be there and see, like, if someone's going to rush the cockpit. And I always wondered, imagine what would happen if one of those planes had all the WWE wrestlers on it when they were attacked. You're talking about fucking the craziest motherfuckers on the planet against a couple skinny jihad guys with box cutters? Fuck, man, I use box cutters to cut my forehead
Cut your
every
own
night.
head, yeah. Cutting your own head open.
Bring it on, Allah.
How many times did you cut yourself in the ring? You don't have the scars, though, like some of the other guys.
You found, I didn't. I mean, maybe a dozen times, not too much. But,
Yeah.
you find your places up. The worst scars I have are car accidents that I had, or things, or just, fucking stupid shit like falling into a wall or things like being drunk a coke.
Who was the guy we saw down at one of the fucking cons? One of the guys from the Bushwhackers, was it?
Oh yeah. It's like a road map.
Oh my God,
It was unbelievable.
His fucking head is so cut up.
The worst is Abdul the Butcher, if you've ever seen him.
Abdul the
'Cause
Butcher?
Not only is it so cut up, they're deep. You could put dimes in them
Oh, shit.
and just leave them. They're like
God
furrows, like little canyons on his forehead.
Hey,
that is fucked, man.
We got one of the biggest wrestling guys in
Sam, you haven't said anything.
Yeah, you know
Prime-time
Sam.
Sam
Every
Roberts.
wrestler knows Sam. You got a question for Jericho that we haven't covered?
Yes, as a matter
Something
of fact.
that might make all the blogs, the wrestling blogs.
Oh, now that's a lot of pressure.
What a radio voice, dude.
Yes, I have a little question for him.
It's a character
It's your
voice.
gimmick?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, sure. He uses it all the time,
Yeah.
though. It's like the prestige.
It's like Moon Goose.
He lives it.
Character called Homo.
So, Booker T came back to do play-by-play. Mick Foley did play-by-play. Is that something, you're 40 now, you left. I mean, you can obviously still go. You left still able to be at the top. But could you see yourself at some point coming back into the company to do
I mean, it's something
commentary?
that I would maybe consider, but I have a pretty big ego, so I don't know if I could handle not being in the spotlight, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I think I could do it. I mean, it's definitely an art form that you have to do. But you do have to put up with Vince being in your headset, talking shit.
We didn't know that until Mick Foley told us.
Yeah, but I mean, you just don't worry about it. I mean, Vince is, like I said, he forgets what he says through, if he says something, oh, you fucking idiot, and then 5 seconds later doesn't even remember he said it.
What a great job.
I just feel like
that's exactly right.
Like a Chris Jericho, Sam Roberts sort of play-by-play team.
There you go.
It could be something Vince was into.
For like gay porn or something.
No, I was thinking
we'll go to live sex shows in TJ and commentate them together. That would work. That'd be something I'm interested in. Absolutely.
Yeah. When Jim was talking about it, Vince McMahon says when you're doing something wrong, my favorite part of your book so far that I've read is when you're telling the story of Vince telling you how badly you did. And then when he says, from now on, every match you have, he has to run through X-Pac because he knows how to work a match and you don't.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I had to.
Wow.
That was like the real. Like Bret Hart told me, Vince likes to. He's like a drill sergeant. He likes to tear you down and build you back up again in the way that he wants you to be. And one of the things I had to do was go over all my matches with this guy X-Pac, which was, had to swallow a lot of pride. Like I said, around that 3, 4, 5 week period, I could have just went, fuck this. I quit. But I just wouldn't allow myself to do that. You know, I just couldn't allow that dream for 9 years to just piss it away.
There.
So
now, make it work.
Make it work. So I swallowed a lot of pride and swallowed a lot of crow and did what I was told. And then, a couple months later, they moved on to somebody else, and that was the end of it. But it was a real initiation period.
You were the whipping boy for
a while.
I was.
Big target on my back for sure.
How do you go over a match? You tell him I'm going to do this and he's going to do that, or you actually physically have to show him, or you just talking out?
You talk about a few things, but it's a lot like improv. In improv comedy, you just kind of battle back and forth and listen to what the crowd is doing.
Funny?
Go this.
Stupid improv.
We're not fans of the improv.
It's either really brilliant or hideously embarrassing to watch.
One or the other.
Were you a groundling?
I was a groundling.
You were. That's a really prestigious improv group.
Yeah.
A lot of funny people have come out of the groundlings.
Oh, fuck yeah.
But it's funny, like you said, when I first started doing it, this guy called Michael Hitchcock was kind of the teacher for me, and he said, "Listen, we're doing it. It was called the Phil Hartman Theater." He said, "There's 99 people in this place. If you kill it, there's 99 people to see it. If you bomb, there's 99 people to see it. Who gives a fuck?" And that's basically the attitude. It's either really brilliant or just the shits. But what it did do is it really helped me with wrestling, because to really believe in what you're doing. What's the word I'm looking for? When you really get into it. Commit. Sorry, yeah. What an actor I am. When you really commit to it, and that helped a lot. You just got to go for it. If you believe it, and if you have no doubt that this is working, then chances are that's going to rub off and it's going to work. That's the same with comedy or music or anything.
And it's got to make you a little quicker to think on your feet.
Well, absolutely, yeah. Because we already had to do that anyways. I mean, being in there with Rock or Austin, and we did 20 minutes of improv every night, just going back and forth talking shit. So to be able to really hone in on that and sharpen it was invaluable.
You ever get schooled by somebody improv, like Chris Rock? What is it, non-wrestler I am? By Rock or any of those? Have you ever been in one of those battles back and forth where the other guy's just killing you, and you know,
fuck, he's killing me.
He's outwitting me.
I was one of the few guys that could keep up with Rock and Steve, because they were the two of the best, and actually got to the point where I could feed them lines.
Right.
We were in Tokyo, and Rock and I worked, and there was 18,000, 20,000 people, and afterwards Rock was doing his thing, and he used to do this thing where he'd say, The Rock loves pie. I love pie. And then, Jericho, do you like pie? And I would say, I hate pie. I love strudel. I will eat strudel all day long, all night long. And so so Rock's like, strudel, and he had that look, you like strudel? And I said to him, call me Okama. And whispering this, under, and he's like, Okama, just say it. Okama means gay in Japanese. And so Rock is like, so what are you? Okama? And the crowd was just like, Okama. The fact that Rock knew what Okama was. But I fed him the line, 10 years of credibility in Japan pissed down the drain in 5 seconds just to get him over more. Like, he needed that.
That's great. We're being told you have to go.
Shit.
You're a busy man.
It's up to you. You stay if you want.
That's good. Busy
they're
man.
They're telling us you got a lot of interviews.
Yeah, man, I've been doing tons of stuff.
That's very cool.
But it's great, man. I always love coming and hanging out with you guys. Like I said, I appreciate the fact, not to get sappy, you guys have supported since 2000, man. So next book we'll have a great story with the Norton versus Jericho fight, and then our
was a good one.
Initial, and then our reconciliation afterwards. The best is you guys brought in security. We need some security in here. It's like, what? me and Jimmy gonna get in a fight?
No, it wouldn't be a fight.
Yeah. We should have brought in a mop for me.
No.
He just came.
It's got to be on record that was Master Paul.
He just ran in.
He ran in.
Oh, jeez, yeah, no.
I must protect the talent.
I didn't want him in. I was like, come on, dude, what are you doing?
Yeah, I knew we were fine, but Master Paul was doing his.
And then we kind of started working it a bit. At least I know that I was. I was
definitely
like pushing it. I did the same thing with Mickey Rourke on Larry King Live. When he did The Wrestler, I was actually going to have a match with him at WrestleMania, but then he kind of let the cat out of the bag. His agents flipped out, whatever. So he went on Larry King, and I went on, and Vince said, you got to try and goad him into this match. So I just said, fuck, I'm going full on asshole here. And I was like, I don't have respect for you. You're a coward. You're a son of a bitch. And Mickey was just like, okay, I'll accept that. And you could just see like, afterwards, he was convinced that I was serious, convinced that I really wanted to beat him up. And when he finally came to WrestleMania to do a little bit, he brought 3 UFC guys, one of them being Frank Shamrock, some crazy-looking Israeli with tattoos. He brought them with him to beat me up, because that's how serious he thought I was being. And I had to explain, Mickey, I was just acting, man. I'm just selling the show. Took me 10 minutes to convince him, and he's finally like,
before you go, how about Brock? You see Brock in MMA. How do you? Does that like make any other guys want to go over there?
Well, I mean,
he's done so well,
dude. You saw that right from the start. He's so strong and so agile as a wrestler, and picked it up like I've never seen anybody pick up wrestling that quickly. Like he was a natural for it. So it's the same with Ultimate Fighting. So I have no doubt that he'll be one of the most dominant guys there for years because he's really smart. And also too, I'm not saying this in a bad way. You know, guys from like the farm. You know, like he's from South Dakota, I think. Not saying he's like stupid, but he's simple. So it's like, you know, it's one of those type of guys you see like a cat in the farmyard that's kind of hurt. You just go and break its neck, and he's that guy. Yeah, he has no problem. Just like, oh, there's a mouse. Yeah. Anyways,
did you know what was going on between what was it, The Undertaker and
no,
Brock?
I think
with that little back and forth shit.
I'm sure they probably were just putting out some feelers to see if they could do something for WrestleMania.
Oh, really?
You don't think it's a real problem there?
I don't really know, but I would say probably not. But you never know.
That was just such a weird...
weird time, because you just lost the heavyweight championship to Kane.
Like,
right.
Didn't seem like you wanted to.
Really
Yeah, that's
weird.
like a real time. Like, you're feeling pretty bad.
No one has really explained that since that happened. The thing is... she's begging.
She's begging. She's begging.
That's hilarious. We gotta get, that just means we love hanging out with Chris Jericho.
Exactly.
The new book is called Undisputed. Thanks, Chris, man.
Thank you very much, guys.
See you next time.
Today at noon, today at noon, Borders on Broadway. Today, 8 o'clock at the speaking at a book signing in Huntington, New York, at the book review, and then tomorrow in Boston for you Boston fans, Barnes & Noble College, Boston University bookstore, and that's at 7 p.m. You get to meet Chris and get your book signed.
He's going to have a shitload of people.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
Chris
Thanks,
Jericho.
Chris.
You guys rock?
Yeah, who's this?
I don't think I've ever laughed as hard at anything in my life.
Get in touch with the Opie and Anthony Show. Call 866-101-WOW. That's 866-969-1969.
Hey, really fast, the Twitter exploding, the instant feedback exploding. There's something wrong with the online player. So I just want to acknowledge that I'm getting your feedback on that. I don't know. People are really, really frustrated because they're trying to listen to the show online, and there's way too many coming in. So, you know, I don't know what they could do down the hall, but there's obviously some kind of issue. What it is, I don't know. It's not my expertise.
I do not know.
But they just want to listen to the show online, and they're finding it very tough to do. Okay?
Yeah.
So, will that even get to the guys down the hall? Type. All right. Enough. Just want to get that out there for the people. They care that much to write us about it. We should acknowledge that and try to see if there's anything that could be done for the people out there. Hey, did you watch The Watson?
No, I've heard about The Watson.
I watched a little.
Didn't watch The Watson.
I watched a little of The Watson.
Heard of The Watson. Didn't watch The Watson.
It's suspicious. Like, who's picking the fucking questions for The Watson? Is someone manually picking at least the questions?
I have no idea.
Do we have
how
an expert
works.
on The Watson?
I don't
Meaning
know
someone
how it
that just
works.
knows more than us, and then you're officially an expert. What do you think this whole thing?
I think, from what I've heard, the second the question comes up, the computer knows what it is. So instead of Alex Trebek having to read it like he does to the people, the second it comes up, the computer knows instantly what it is. But then based on whether the computer, the percentage, whether it thinks it knows the answer or not, that dictates how long it's going to take the computer to buzz in. See, because there's that buzz-in factor.
Right.
Now, that to me is handicapping the machine. Because as a computer, the computer could probably buzz in instantly, but the second the question comes up, and more times than not get the answer right and win the game and shut everybody else out. So computer wins.
But there's no handicapping the machine because he's kicking ass so far, isn't he?
Well, that's what I mean. Even a handicap machine is kicking ass.
Oh, so you're saying...
So I'm saying the computer
it would be a bloodbath.
Hands down, fuck everyone.
Right.
If they just let it actually be a computer where it doesn't have to read it. It knows the second the question comes up, it calculates so fast that you don't even get done reading the question before it already has the answer.
I'm not impressed.
I'm not impressed.
Because the computer was built specifically to kick ass in Jeopardy. Not impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was just a regular computer they put up there.
Is that it? You just thought it was like a Dell?
Yeah.
They just put a Dell laptop up there?
Right. We named our Dell computer Watson, and look what this thing could do. Then I would be impressed. But supposedly, what, hundreds of programmers for, I think, 5 years or something?
Yeah.
With the main goal of just beating Jeopardy. Not impressed.
Not impressed.
Nah.
No.
I want to see what my Mac could do. I want to put it in one of the positions up against Watson.
You just want to put your Mac against your Watson?
And that bore Ken Jennings. Enough about Ken Jennings.
Well, people seem to like him.
No, they don't.
I don't know what that's all about.
Do they really like Ken Jennings? Maybe a few nerds do.
A few nerds?
Nerds. Let me say hi to Kyle in New Mexico, the official expert on the Watson. Kyle, what's up?
What's up, guys? Basically, how it works is once it gets to the question, it has like thousands of encyclopedias and medical and physics research papers that it first queries. It then takes what it thinks the question is asking and it searches on the internet for some of the keywords.
Yeah.
Once it has an answer, it now puts the answer into the question. Does another search on the internet to see how many hits come back.
So
that helps give it a probability if it's the right answer or not.
Okay, so they named the computer the Watson. They should be naming it Google.
Yeah, it just Googles. Right? It Googles the answer. Is that what's happening?
That's not impressive. Anyone could Google. Let Ken Jennings Google.
When they were developing it, they let some of the people that work at IBM could go sit in the audience and watch the machine, and it would give the top 10 answers that it thought. And if it gets over a certain percentage, then it buzzes in and answers with it. But a lot of times it gets things wrong. The cool thing about it is that it knows wordplay. It understands like the multiple meanings from different words, because lots of the Jeopardy questions are written all fucked up.
Yeah, they're written like in that stupid answer question form, and sometimes it's like a pun, so it understands like puns and things.
That's pretty impressive. But why? I guess you explain why we should be impressed, huh?
Well, what they want to do with it is they made the program that did that played chess, and everyone like watched it and got interested, but they couldn't sell it. No one wanted a chess playing computer for their corporation. So what they're doing with this is they're trying to sell it to, say, a law firm, for example. So someone could ask the computer, I'm looking for a case law and reference DWI stops in Albuquerque involving red trucks. And the computer can basically understand the question better than just a regular Google search could, and more intelligently give answers. And that's how they're trying to market this computer to sell it to
But doesn't it seem very close to Google?
Well, it does use the internet search to query databases and just general answers, and that's how it helps with that.
So all I need to know, because this is what scares the shit out of all of us, Watson is not aware. It's not aware. Right? It's not. No. Okay, good. That's all I care about. Fine. Then.
No.
Then Google away, Watson. Have fun. Have fun with the Jeopardy.
Whatever you want to do.
Whatever you want to do.
Is Watson actually winning those games?
I think so.
Yeah.
It's worth watching for 5 minutes because Alex Trebek is such a fucking bore. Even with this.
You don't like the way he pronounces everything like a Canadian?
And he can't even have fun with this.
No, the answer is Montreux.
Like, I thought it would be fun, and a few other people made this observation as well. Then make the computer sound like Sean Connery.
What's it sound like?
Really?
From the old, SNL, sketches.
Yeah. Like,
have a little fun with it. Or every once in a while have it come out.
Call his mother a whore?
Yes. Well, maybe not go that far, because you got to keep it...
Mother's a whore, Trebek.
You got to keep it, highbrow, because it's Jeopardy.
Yeah.
But you can have fun even though something's highbrow.
Oh, yeah, look, it's answering. What is Toronto?
Someone is saying that Watson is not hooked up to the internet, though. It's all just self-contained.
What was the question for that one?
What rhymes with Mamonto? And this in Canada.
I think we got some Watson audio. Let's take a listen to this. See what this is about. Oh, this is good. This is actually a good clip. Watson computer proves he's stupid during Final Jeopardy.
Oh, really?
Final Jeopardy category is U.S.
Category. All right. You're great at pronouncing stuff.
He really is.
Terrific. Category.
Yes.
I shouldn't make fun of him because he ended up marrying like a friend of the family.
Did he?
Swear to God.
She hot?
I don't even know if they're together.
I was going to say, is he hot?
This is...
I was implying.
Is he a fruit?
No. He lived with his mommy for a long time, though.
Did he?
Yeah.
I was
kind of weird.
I was friends with his wife's son, who had the misfortune of having his skull drilled into every 6 months to relieve liquids.
What is water on the brain?
Well, the guy's no longer with us either. He died in a fine car accident because I think his condition might have caused him to swerve off the road.
What is 6 feet under?
Yeah, there you go. But she was beautiful. She lived right down the street from us in Centerport.
Really?
Same bus and everything. My brother knew her way more than I did. I knew her brother. But what does this mean? Who gives a fuck? Who really gives a fuck? I'm trying to fucking make it look like I know Hollywood. Who cares?
Yeah, you're in. Well, you had a connection to Alex Trebek.
I haven't seen her talk to her in probably fucking 30 years.
Yeah, but you knew someone.
Who gives a fuck?
Who had a kid with a hole in the head and mallet, whatever?
But here's Watson being stupid.
Final Jeopardy category is U.S. cities, and here is the clue. Its largest airport is named for a World War II hero. Its second largest for a World War II battle. 30 seconds, players. Good luck. We come to you, Ken. You had 2,400 for this final going in, and you wrote down what is Chicago. That is correct, and you wagered $2,400. That doubles your score to 4,800. Down to Brad now. He had 5,400. Yeah. I have to feel that he came up with a correct response. Did he? Yes. And the wager? Doing almost everything you can. $5,000 takes you up to 10,400. Now to our leader, Watson, going in the final 36,681. And the response was, what is Toronto? With a lot of question marks, which means, of course, that Watson had many, many doubts. And the wager, how much are you going to lose? Oh, you sneak. $947.
So it wound up winning because it didn't bet the load.
Well, a computer can figure out the math shit easy enough, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's saying the computer is self-contained. That's what makes this impressive, I guess.
That it's not reaching out to other computers and the internets. Which would be funny, just because it doesn't matter what the question is. Porn would come out. Mm-hmm. If it was on the internet, just porno would come out. No, I'm sorry. Watson has answered, what is meat spin? And as we see the dick spinning around, we know this is not correct, Watson.
It would just take one lousy porn virus and Watson is fucked.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. What is lemon party is the wrong answer. Wrong answer.
Going 2 girls, 1 cup.
Yes. So what is 2 girls, 1 cup? Yes, that is correct, though. Yes, that is correct. What do I jerk off to on a nightly basis in Quebec? Canadian.
Let me say hi to
Alex Trebek.
Daniel in Oklahoma.
Canada.
Daniel, is this you?
Yep.
Or is
you got me.
Are you the one with the girl's name that calls from time to time?
Don't believe so.
It's Daniel, right?
Yeah, Daniel.
Okay, sometimes we get a Danielle, and we laugh openly because it's a guy.
Oh, nope, not
but
me.
That's not you.
Name, girl. Oh.
It's not him, though. But there is a guy that does call. All right, whatever. What do you got on the Watson?
Yeah, that first guy had most of his facts right except for the internet thing. It's not hooked to the internet.
Oh, okay. So I thought you had...
Were we just saying that?
Yeah, I thought you had something else besides that. No?
No?
Well, I mean, that and the fact that they made a computer that can understand a pun, which is, amazing. And, human language, which is kind of complicated sometimes, and they nailed it.
As being the Watson expert, I need to know this. Is he picking the questions? I heard that there's some human interaction going on.
I don't believe so. What they've said on many of the videos that I've watched is that once they set it up and hit go, it's on its own. They can't interact with it.
Why not just pull the goddamn plug?
Yeah, the Whopper.
The Whopper.
If it wins a question, then it picks its own, and it does all by itself.
I guess that's all we have on the Watson.
I think it was cool that they did it on Valentine's Day when anybody who gave a shit about robots or Jeopardy was home to watch.
That's a good line.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right, man.
I don't know. It just seems to me
it was worth checking out.
Yeah, very gimmicky. Kind of cool.
Jeopardy some huge ratings for the next few days, right?
Jeopardy does that every so often. They get like when they had either one of these two champions on there. That's amazing in itself. They, I think, earned something like was it combined $5 million?
Yeah, the one guy won over I don't know, Brad or something. Or
yeah, like what was it? 70 games in a row, over 70 games.
Well, Ken Jennings won the most games in a row. And the other guy won the most money. I believe. And I think the guy winning the most money, it's over $3 million.
It's crazy.
And then Ken must have pushed about $2 million.
Yeah,
in his run, I guess. So
that's something. And then the computer, which I guess doesn't get any money, huh?
Yeah.
What does it do? Just so as it win oil or something, right? Oil or something.
Yeah, the computer wins a bunch of new buttons. Here's your wires or something. Whatever computer's like. Hey, new table to stand on all day. New card table for a computer. What do computers want? What do you win? Bunch of money. I'm going to buy with it. New bag to get carried around in.
Chip's funny today.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. Buy a new card table. What are you doing, Chip? You're being funny.
I'm very funny.
No, really.
I know what the computer wants. Computers are going to want like a new apartment.
Why?
To be in.
Huh?
Chip just blows it. He can't handle the
He can't handle the pressure of actually being funny. Well.
I want to give an example of what we deal with on a regular basis.
Here. All right.
Andrew on Long Island, what's up? You're on the Opie and Anthony show.
Hey, how's it going?
Better now, bud. Thanks a million.
What do you got as far as Watson and Jeopardy goes?
Outstanding. Well, he answered Toronto when they asked for a U.S. city.
Really? When did that happen?
I don't know. Last night.
Really?
Oh.
They asked for a U.S. city, and it said Toronto?
Oh.
How many question marks were after Toronto?
A lot.
Really? And what did that mean?
Yeah. All righty. I'm gone.
I love when someone realizes.
Defeat is great.
I love
the sound of defeat.
So is Diom's.
Ah, Chip.
I'm on a roll with something.
You really are. A buttered roll. I get it.
No.
Hey, Chip. That is very funny. Holy fuck.
All right, we got some other stuff.
Ooh, what do you got? That's a pretty purple case.
Well, this is the, we played it yesterday, obviously, the news reporter speaking a new language.
Oh, yeah.
Is there an update on her? It turns out that she didn't have a stroke, right?
She's just going for tests, but she feels fine and everything's fine.
I think she just completely panicked.
You know what? And I
really, but she's been a reporter for, she was. Look, I'm doing it now. No, it's not like it was her first.
No, but you ever just been mush mouth like we all of a sudden, and if it's like that.
Yeah, but that was she.
Yeah, she did do an hour.
She didn't even come close. I forgot to. Is Sam down the hall? I tweeted one yesterday. There's another one that happened a while ago. That's pretty bad too.
Really? And same.
Talking about
thing?
Obama's health care.
Yeah. Oh,
so that's about a year ago.
Was it Obama actually trying to make it make sense?
Obama might have cursed yesterday.
Yeah, I heard that. That's pretty funny.
Just get word to Sam. It was on my Twitter yesterday afternoon. It was a pretty good one, worth playing today.
Sam, there's a problem only you can solve.
There you go. Just like the mush mouth one from after the Grammys. Here's Obama cursing, I guess. I don't, it was a little slip.
Yeah, it's a little slip.
But everyone making a big deal about it.
It's always funny to hear a president kind of
curse. Which would cut the deficit by more than $400 billion over the next decade and bring annual domestic spending to its lowest share of the economy since Dwight Eisenhower.
It's low as shit.
It's just fun.
It is.
It's just fun for everybody.
It's low as shit.
But then they really got to spin it and say he really meant to say shit.
It's not like he said lowest cunt or lowest fuckwad.
There's really nothing to spin.
No.
He just said the word shit by mistake.
I know.
That's it.
Even I can't find something to fault him on that.
I'm sure Rush Limbaugh will. The president said shit.
If you noticed what he said there, it was cursing.
Yeah. Really? Is that the man we want?
And then Glenn Beck will use his blackboard to fucking explain what that means.
I never saw Glenn Beck.
He's the worst.
He'll write the word shit.
Right.
And then, write words off of it.
Right. It means that Obama's in on the fact that the whole world's going to be Islamic.
He's
within
obviously
the next
a Muslim
10 years.
extremist. Yeah, Glenn Beck. Wow. I mean, I watch him occasionally because
I watch them, all of them.
It is
I watch
just
all of them.
so fun to watch a man just become unglued.
Did you see him wearing the robe the other day?
No.
What,
oh, no.
Why is Fox putting up with this?
Because they know people watch it.
Just because of the ratings,
think they're
right?
watching. Yeah, I think a lot of people watching now, like people watch Hannity, and Hannity it's a conservative show. Obviously, he goes on there. He's very well educated on what's going on. He has his own opinions, which are very Christian, very right wing, whatever. Whether you agree with him or not, it's a very prepared show.
I'll say it because I'm not. I don't agree with Sean Hannity, but he seems the most sane, is what you're getting at.
Yeah.
Glenn Beck's
he's educated.
Glenn Beck might have the best info ever, but he sounds and looks like a lunatic at this point.
He really is coming off like a man unhinged. That honestly, I would act like that if Muslim paratroopers were coming out of a plane over my head. I would start going, holy shit!
Right.
Like he's acting like that right now.
Right. His presentation's a little strange with
And
the blackboard, and he's wearing a robe now at times. And
if it all comes to fruition and he was right, we could all say, goddamn, Glenn Beck was right. We should have listened. Oh my God, he was amazing, and so he had such foresight.
Watch out, man. The Glenn Beck fans are calling.
But
I'm just saying, he might have the best info, but his presentation's a little kooky.
Right now, he's just coming off as a little kooky. Little kooky.
I've said over the years I'm not a politics guy, but I'm watching all of them every fucking night
great.
now. Every fucking night.
Oh, they're great. I can't
Because
get
then you
enough.
got the pompous Bill O'Reilly, who can't do no wrong.
Bill
and everyone should
O'Reilly.
kiss his ass.
It's the no
'cause he
spin
knows-
zone.
He knows. He even proved he knows more than Obama.
Of course he does.
And
you'll learn more if you buy some of his coffee cups, hats, shirts, fucking bibs.
Pinhead or Patriot.
Pinhead or Patriot pens.
Fucking asshole.
What else does he hawk?
A pinhead. Is Tiger Woods a pinhead or a Patriot? What?
No, he's a nice guy.
Right.
What?
He's a load machine. He's a cum dispenser. He's a good man.
And then I've been watching Keith Olbermann's replacement, Lawrence O'Donnell, and now he's calling out O'Reilly. Basically wants to fight him on the street. It's like it's
radio. It's shock jock morning radio.
It's like radio wars that we went through. When was the big period for radio wars? The late 90s.
Oh yeah.
Nah, we did well in the mid 90s too.
Late 90s.
I'd say mid 90s to
yeah.
Radio wars at this point are almost silly.
Everyone was just like,
and that's what these guys are doing.
Harumph.
They're doing radio wars.
Radio wars.
I was watching Lawrence O'Donnell lose his mind the other night. He's calling out O'Reilly, calling him basically a punk and a fake tough guy, and basically saying, "Look, let's fucking fight on the street."
Fight on this.
He didn't officially say that,
but it's so funny just to have people that mad about what.
And he basically said, and remember, we used to use this tact with Howard and everyone else. And if you don't respond to this, it just proves how right I am.
He wants
Oh, really? Is that how it works?
Well, he needs the ratings, so
Yeah,
he
he
needs
certainly
Bill
does.
O'Reilly to respond. And we used to use that tact. When we were the little guys, we would go after the big guys and basically say, look, our whole philosophy was we need the big guy to talk about us.
Yeah.
So we got to go ugly, man.
And that's what happened.
And that's what they're now doing with these shows on MSNBC. They're all doing it.
Yeah.
They're all doing it.
Yeah, because if you could get the guy with the highest ratings to talk about you, that was what you needed.
Right.
So you would just keep pounding and pounding. And at the beginning, they're just going, well, I won't talk about him. I won't talk about him. And then after a while, they just couldn't take it anymore.
If this is true, I owe an apology. Bill in Delaware. O'Reilly's a dope, he says. I don't know. I don't think O'Reilly's a dope. My problem with O'Reilly is just so over-the-top pompous. But I think he's a very smart guy. 100% of his merchandise profits go to charity. I did not know that.
100%?
If that's true, that's a good thing.
I don't know. Okay, whatever.
So do mine.
But, you know.
Yeah?
That's right.
Yeah?
Craigslist.
We got a Glenn Beck
girls
fan.
need cum.
It's only fair. Excuse me. Tom in Connecticut. Go ahead, Tom.
It is, Tom.
You're out, Tom.
How are you, boys?
All right, Tom.
Beck is a whack job, but the fact that his ratings are so through the roof, I don't know if that's scary or not.
Well, it's not scary if you realize it's all just entertainment.
No, it's kind of fun for people to, watch and go like, holy shit, what's he talking about?
I see a lot of these shows are losing credibility as the days go by, not even the years or the months. I mean, the credibility on these shows are really just being thrown out the window.
Yeah.
Look at the opposite. Look at Oberman, who is a total jerk-off, who had no fan base and no ratings whatsoever, and he was the total opposite effect, and nobody watched him.
I don't like Keith Olbermann at all, but he had a fan base.
He did, but where
did
he go now?
He's going on,
but not near.
No, O'Reilly kicked his ass, but he's going on current TV.
Conservative talk will always do better than liberal talk. It's just the way it is.
Right.
It's more compelling. It's more exciting. I think conservative talk is talking to a more singular audience, and I think liberal talk is a much more factioned audience. You have conservatives are basically willing to listen to other conservatives, regardless of your offshoot of conservatism.
Right.
Liberals, you have your guilty white people, you have your tree-hugging environmentalists, you have your community leaders, and they might not all agree with each other and might not want to listen to another liberal talk about his bullshit or whatever. But conservatives always seem to band together to watch the people they want to watch. Yeah.
Well, that's primarily why Air America went off the air.
Yeah.
They couldn't get it going.
Yep.
They couldn't get anybody to listen to it.
Yeah, no shit.
The top talk shows in America are all conservative talk.
Yeah.
All of them. You got right at the top. They list them every week on one of these websites to go to, and it's always Rush, Sean Hannity, Glenn Beck is up there, and then a bunch of the other guys. I forget their
Mike
names.
Savage.
Is he? Yeah, and those guys are all conservative talk show hosts, right? Where's the first position for the lefty?
Yeah.
Is there a lefty that makes the list?
I can't think of one. That's how bad it is.
Jesse Buzzworth does okay.
Yeah.
Shut up.
You know what? You got me.
No.
Because it sounded kind of like a radio name.
That sounded like... I am so picking up on names Jimmy makes up.
He fucking got me,
Jesse Buzzworth?
He got me.
Buzzworth?
He got me.
Listening to Sharpton show.
With you in the morning.
Jesse Buzzworth.
All right, Tom, thank you.
Well,
my radio name.
I'm changing my name. I told you that.
Wait, why, Chip?
Because I want to show up his name.
What is it going to be?
Jerry Sherbet.
Jerry Sherbet?
That's my new name.
All right. We'll look forward to that.
I want to
do comedy?
I want to hear more from Rush because Jimmy got him down. Rush will spin everything, man.
Well, that's exactly his
He is
gig.
the king of the spin.
He's done that. He is so glad. I love these guys that are like, oh, our country's doomed. I wish the other guy would have won. And that they build their careers on the liberal winning.
Can I state the obvious? Not only did Rush Limbaugh want Obama to fucking win the election, he probably voted for him.
Yeah. Wouldn't you just go in the voting booth and be like, I need this guy to win, so I got a career?
Think about it. Rush is probably thinking, you know what? You never know, so I'm going to even go and vote for him.
Yeah.
He doesn't agree with his politics because someone will spin it out there in that way.
He made his huge career during the Clinton years.
Right.
And then during the Bush years, he pretty much just kind of...
There was sort of a drop-off.
Yeah, big drop-off.
Not to the point where he was losing his career, but...
But he was talking about, I would think he was talking about more House and Senate bullshit. And then Obama comes in, and he comes back with a vengeance.
He probably wants him for another 4 years.
Yeah, please.
Not politically, because he doesn't agree with them, but it's good for his business.
Oh, it certainly is.
Right? Now everyone wants to talk about this. Glenn Beck used to do Morning Zoo Radio. We know that.
Did he? I didn't know he did Zoo Radio.
He was a crew guy with a bad coke problem. Was that the...
That's why I... made sure earlier. You can't just say that.
I don't know, but is it documented? I know
if it's documented, then that's another
he's sober.
Thing.
Is he sober?
Yeah, he's sober.
This is John in North Carolina. John, how do you know this, or is this something you just heard? Because if it's something you just heard, that's where we have problems.
Meow.
All right.
Meow. No, I think it's documented that Glenn Beck did have substance abuse problems. I don't know what they were, but he's been sober now for a couple of years, I guess. I'm not even sure when exactly.
Let's go to Renee. Renee?
Hey, what's going on, Phil?
Girl name. You have a girl name.
Well, I never heard that before. You're good. Hey, check this out.
Yes, sir.
Oh, do you remember that video, Glenn Beck? That was the weird video where he was...
The Morning Zoo one?
It looked like he was high. Remember he was in bed?
Really?
Yeah, look at that picture right there.
Oh.
That's him, yeah.
Yeah, you remember that picture where this video? Google Glenn.
I thought you were showing Anthony a nice picture of his shit.
I swear, I rolled.
His acting's getting good because I'm like, why is Anthony falling for this?
I rolled over there and I thought it was going to be
No,
him.
you remember there was footage of him, but he said he was on pills or something, but for an operation?
Right.
Oh.
Hey, Renee's disagrees with us.
Oh, go ahead, Renee. Feel free to agree to disagree. Go ahead.
What do you got there, Carol?
Go ahead.
Come on, Cynthia.
Hey, 2 weeks ago, Bob Kelly was in there, and he was telling a story about his stepdad. And he's told that story 3 times, and you act like it was the first time you heard it. Isn't that being fake, too? I mean,
there's a lot of... You don't have to say anymore. I'll tell you. There's a lot of stuff that is fake with our show and other radio shows. The thing is, when like Bob Kelly... I'll take you inside a little bit. When Bob Kelly tells a story we've heard a few times... It's not our responsibility to say, we heard that one. I assume, I can speak for myself, there's a lot of people out there hearing it for the first time, so I'm allowing him to just kind of, tell it again.
And you've never been with your drunken friends at a bar or something, and one of them starts telling a story you've heard before, and you just all kind of go, yeah.
But you're absolutely right. Hold on. What I try to do, though, is like, okay, I know the story. How can I possibly make it better as he tells it again this time? You know what I mean? But my whole philosophy is that he's telling so many more people that story for the first time than have heard it already.
It's not let's fool everyone and try to make the people that have heard this before think that we're hearing it for the first time. We're not trying to...
You know how many times
fake
and he could say the same thing about me. He goes into a story and I look at him like, this one.
Yeah.
And then I know the exact role I have to play in that story.
Yeah.
But also sometimes the story is funny more than once or two. Don't forget.
That's true.
So I've laughed at the same story twice. I love hearing it again.
And you could remember little things or other details that were there that you don't remember.
And then sometimes when
time.
Ann tells a story, I go, oh, you know what? Oh, I'm glad he's telling this again because the last time he told it, I wish I would have asked him this question or led him in this direction.
And then it shoots off to another subject.
Susie understands. I'm leaving now. Bye-bye.
No, but you're right, though. I mean, you're absolutely right is what I'm saying. So.
All right, Becky.
Hey,
take care,
girl name.
Joe.
No, that's a guy's name.
We'll set up by playing this because this is
the Facts for Life one.
Yeah, Jerry. Heard she likes to lick the you-know-what.
What the you-know-whats?
The Jews.
Yes, sir.
Oberman had high ratings, highest ratio on MSNBC.
MSNBC.
It's like having the biggest dick in China.
Oberman was the highest rated MSNBC personality as well as cable news person on any channel other than Fox. There's a big drop off after that, is what I'm saying. And MSNBC, the ratings for MSNBC suck.
You know
so if he's the highest rated guy on the suckiest rated network, big whoop-de-doo.
We can relate to that, though.
Yeah, exactly.
When we were syndicated, that's how people spun our ratings at times. When you want to be number one, men 18 to 49 is the big get, as we like to say from time to time. But a program director will go, look, you're not number one, men 18 to 49, but men 22 to 27.
Ah, you're killing.
That listen from 3 in the afternoon until 3:20.
Yeah.
You are number one, my friend.
Yeah, thanks.
They would try to build you up and go, look, no, don't worry about it. And that's,
And we were number one on stations that were abominations.
True. But Keith Olbermann wanted to be number one across the board.
Of course, and he wasn't even close to the Fox News ratings.
No. Yeah, we're going to get to the Australian anchor as well. But we set it up. Everyone has seen or heard this clip by now. If not, I would love to play this and see how many people are actually hearing this for the first time. I'd be very curious. It's the lady reporter out there in L.A. after the Grammys.
What happened to that bitch? I heard she was all mumbling and shit.
and for the people that are sick of hearing that, we do have a new one that I'll turn a lot of people on to today that someone tweeted me yesterday. But first this.
First time, Sari.
Well, a very, very heavy rotation tonight. We had a very Darrison... But let's go ahead, Terrace Chase and look for the head of the pit.
We should not move on from this clip. This clip is just fucking amazing.
The heavy birtation is
heavy
just
birtation.
getting me.
That's not good.
The heavy birtation.
Yeah.
I go for more medium birtation.
But you know what?
I don't like it too heavy. It's too rich.
But birtation should be a word.
Birtation. How is birtation
not
a word?
Every word has
at this
been
point.
Heavy birtation.
Birtation.
Remember that guy?
No.
The fucking, what was his name? The guy who talked a lot when he was on acid. Heavy birtation. The guy who was fucked up with the
cups.
Yeah.
Oh, we did this yesterday.
Don't fix
them.
them.
Did you? Was it before you got here?
Yeah, I didn't remember
because
that.
I thought you were losing your mind now.
No.
Yeah, Anthony did a whole video.
I did,
heavy
I did a
birtation.
video.
Yeah,
of that.
Anthony did a
I didn't even know, dude.
I put a little video together.
Holy shit, I thought you were just having
No,
a
I
stroke.
really didn't know.
We thought
Wasn't he
Jimmy
here
was
yesterday?
having
I
a
forgot you
stroke.
got here late because of the LA flight.
Yeah, we were doing
No, Anthony made a mashup where it goes to the drinking out of cups guy.
Yeah, the lizard.
Pretty funny video.
Heavy birtation.
But why is
Birtation.
invitation a word?
It is actually.
Oh, what does it mean?
It's a combination of, it's a birthday invitation.
It's a birtation.
So you take a vacation on your birthday.
Birtation.
All right, now it's a word.
It is.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Billy Ray Cyrus.
Oh, he's
Cyrus
freaking
yet.
out.
We'll get to that.
Hannah Montana ruined his family.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
That's right.
And Achy Breaky Heart did what?
Oh, man. Look at that, right?
You have to admit to people that you are the Achy Breaky Heart guy.
How did it ruin his family?
Look.
Because she's bigger than him. He's probably jealous, and she's like, shut up, Dad.
What is this about, Ed? I mean, might as well do it.
His daughter is, there's that clip of her smoking something out of a bong, and
they're hinting her problems are way worse than people know.
Like she's barely holding onto that public persona of Hannah Montana and shit by a thread right now. By a thread.
Why blame it on Hannah Montana? Why not blame it on your fucking parenting skills to figure that shit out?
He actually does.
Because there was a time where she had to and would listen to you.
He does blame
now
it on
it's
himself.
too fucking late.
He blames it on himself,
does?
too. He took some of the blame for it. Said that he looking back, he never would have even let her do that.
Bullshit.
I know. But,
the money that fucking raked in and actually helped his lousy career. His career was dead in the water.
I know, done.
And then he got to be on that show with her.
And it made her a big
about?
star. She's going through that time in her life where she's a huge star. She starts, feeling her oats as a young woman.
Yeah. Think she's bigger than him?
Yeah, she's bigger than him.
Way bigger than
And
he
she's
ever
starting to
was.
experiment with drugs and sex. And just scantily clad, and
would you?
Ooh, in a second. There's not even any doubt.
Would you let her suck your Peter?
Yes. Oh, of course I would.
Would you let her suck the cum
Who
out?
wouldn't?
Yeah. Should I lick your pud?
There isn't one guy that isn't a complete flaming homosexual that wouldn't do that.
Would you let her lick your pud?
Look, come on.
Should you let her put her fingers in your ghoulie?
Only if I could do the same.
Would you let her make the motorboat sound in your anus?
That would just be silly.
While she pulled on your balls, while she was trying to start it.
That's so silly.
So what is he talking about? I love these guys that talk after the fact. Get the fuck out of here. That Hannah Montana was very good for you and the family.
He's full of turkey.
Yes.
Now that the show is pretty much over, I would assume. I don't know that world, but I would assume it's
what, Hannah Montana?
Way past.
I think that's dead.
Is it dead or is
Yeah.
it okay?
No, I think that's done. Right? That's been
Completely
done a while.
done?
She's a little too old for that. I don't think Disney wants her parading around.
He goes, I hate
half nude.
See, now it's easy to say this stuff. Then you should have yanked her out. I hate to say it, but yes, I do. Yeah, I take it back in a second, he said. For my family to be here and just be everybody okay, safe and sound and happy, normal would have been fantastic. Heck, yeah, I'd erase it all in a second if I could. That's such bullshit when these celebrities say this.
She's dressing like a whore.
They give the money back.
Yeah, give the money back. Go ahead. Give it to charity.
We said the same thing to that dope man cow when he started trashing shock jocks. I'm like, really? You were living in a mansion.
Turd.
You were living in a mansion somewhere because you had Turd doing shock jock things and you were doing shock jock things. Give the money back then if you regret it.
I'm turning my back on the shock jock genre. I'm doing political talk now, Turd. Turd. What do you think of Obama, Turd?
Yeah, what happened?
We're gonna drop him in a voting booth. We're dropping Turd into the ocean for election day. Jack off.
He did the hackiest shock jock shit in the history of radio. What is Turd doing, you think?
Turd?
We know Mancow's
Turd's
trying to
running
do the
for
political
governor
thing.
of Iowa.
Probably.
I don't know what Turd is up to. The artist formerly known as Turd. Fucking ass.
Can we get an update on Turd there?
Turd, where's Turd?
That's your job. Homework assignment. I want to know what Turd's doing.
Is he still on the show?
What show?
I know,
Oh,
exactly.
Mancow? You think?
Who knows?
If he is, he's
Does
probably
he
just
even have
answering
a show
phones or
anymore?
something. Mancow?
He's so off the radar. Like, so off the fucking radar.
I don't know. There's a couple of shows that throw him on TV every once in a while to give his opinion.
Really?
Yeah, every once in a while. I think.
But
he
I mean,
still
as
does
far
a
as
little.
radio goes, like, what is he doing?
Last we checked in with him, he was doing kind of small town radio, right? Syndicated to some small towns.
My Christian values are now what I'm pushing on the air. Turd, get on the cross, Turd. We're going to nail Turd on a cross. He can't get off of his shock jockery, his shock jock roots. So he goes Christian, religious, conservative talk, but still with Turd. Turd? Turd's out there protesting against dead soldiers. Turd? What an asshole. Turd.
Stupid Turd.
How do you agree to be Turd?
I know.
Like, how does that fucking happen? I mean, we've had some winners on this show as far as interns and things go, but how do you agree to be Turd?
It's bad enough I have to go through life as Opie, trust me.
Imagine being
I
Turd.
fucking hate the name.
Turd?
It made sense when I was 12 and I didn't have fucking hair on my balls.
Oh, God.
I'm an older guy now, and I walk around, hey, Opie. I hate it.
Even Ron Howard almost got away from that.
I fucking hate it, if you need to know the truth.
He got away from that by, like, directing and...
At least some people they try to man it up and go Ope or O. But I'm fucking Opie. I fucking hate it. It gave me a good living, and I'm not going to give the money back, so I'm a fucking hypocrite.
Give the money back, then.
But now that I'm older, I fucking hate the name.
You know what? You just want to go to Greg?
I never liked that name. That's why I accepted a nickname. I hated my name. Hated it.
All right. Hello, Bill.
Right.
What do we...
At least my mom was smart enough not to make me a Gregory, which I think is like probably the worst name you could be named.
Gregory.
I think that's a fine name for you.
Although when Ted says it, I kind of enjoy it.
Thank you, Gregory.
I do enjoy when you say it.
Of course you do. It's your name.
But let it be known, I'm still Opie. I fucking hate it.
Oh, God, that's just...
And all I'm saying is how it relates, like being Turd, those way worse.
Is it just going to be worse
You think he's in his 40s somewhere and they're going, hey, Turd.
I'm Turd.
Hey, man.
I'm Turd.
Hey, man, I'm trying to bring my daughter to school. Can you chill on the fucking Turd?
Hey, Turd, remember when you crashed that car, Turd?
My name's Brad, please.
Brad, could you not call me Turd? Right. Does it get worse every year? Like when you have these landmark birthdays,
mine?
Do you think like, oh my God, I'm Opie at and then throw age here?
It's bad, man. Yeah.
It is bad, man.
So awkward for everybody. It's awkward for me. It's awkward for the people that have to say it.
It was cool when like you were fucking 8.
It stopped being cool when we moved to New York, probably.
It was okay in like Massachusetts. Yeah.
Well, because we were
still
like
playing young
we were
music
building up the name of the show and everything.
Yeah.
It's like I got a son now,
And
man.
then we can't. Dad, is he gonna call you Dad or Opie?
It's the wimpiest name ever. Are you kidding me?
Oh, God.
Maybe that's why I had to try to play the over-the-top tough guy on the radio, because I was aware that my name is the fucking wimpiest.
It's not a bad name.
It's horrible.
Makes you think of a small town and flowers, piece of pie.
Mount Pilot.
Oh, whatever. It was
You know
good.
what's a cute nickname? Kids like when you call them, hey, Turkey Foot. And
What is Turkey Foot?
You kiss their foot, you go, blah. You make a turkey sound.
You're a disgusting man.
Turkey Foot.
Yum.
Anything for an angle, huh? Any angle you can get on that. On that getting a kid.
Hey, you want a turd update or not?
Oh, please.
We might have it. When Brittany went through her problems, Billy said that would never happen to his daughter. Really?
Oh boy.
And all Mancow stuff is real, up to a point, Mark in Chicago wants to say.
Really?
Which one you want first?
Up to a point.
And then someone is begging that we play any old Mancow bit.
I know, it's just...
Which one haven't we played in a while, E-Rock? It's one of my favorite things to do.
We have a whole disc full of them. Let me go get it.
But find one we haven't played in a while.
Yeah, not the one where he drives the car, where Turd drives the car. We've heard that one. I love it.
Is Turd okay, though?
Let's find out. Let's find out. Let's go to Joe in Illinois. We want to know about Turd. We're very concerned about Turd.
Where's Turd? Turd.
Joe.
Hello, you there?
Yeah, let's go,
yeah,
Joe.
Where's Turd?
I believe he is running an ice cream parlor that he named after his son, Nick. It's called Nick's Licks, and I think it's in Peatone, Illinois.
Really? Or are you just plugging a place?
No.
All right.
What else does he do? Is he a manager at the Cincinnati Funny Bone?
Why would you say that?
This weekend?
That's really weird.
Hold on, let me Google it.
All right.
I wonder if they have a special chocolate ice cream, the Turd. It's like, God, can I have a Turd?
There's a store there under that name, but it's not an ice cream place.
Oh.
Well, what is Nick's
Nick's
Licks?
Licks.
Nick's
Kids
Licks
and
is
babies.
Wait, you're trying to tell me there's a business called Nick's Licks and it's not an ice cream place?
Kids and baby clothes.
That's
Ew.
fucking weird.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, I don't know if you know about Turd then there, Joe.
It's like Paul's Malls with M-A-U-L, you know. 'Cause they...
Get out of here, turkey foot.
Ew. And are the kids' feet all like wet after that?
Yeah, they smell like cigarettes.
Because Uncle Paul smokes.
Yeah, I smoke.
What do you smoke, Viceroy?
I like Moors.
Moors.
A nice Tipperillo.
The kids' feet smell like saliva.
Like sour
fucking...
cigarette breath tongue.
Oh, God.
Sour cigarette tongue.
Terrible.
The worst.
Go wash your feet.
Yeah, your feet.
So your mother doesn't smell them.
Yeah, one time they walked in and the mother thought that she walked through cat tinkle. Went there and wash your feet good.
Shit. Look who's here. It's E-Rock.
Yeah.
He's got some turd bits. Hey, Turd.
You got one?
Turd.
Hey.
These are some of the great Mancow.
Wait, let me look at the
Oh, God.
Turkey toes.
Please.
1 through 9.
1 through 9. And people are saying that the Mancow, you're in Mancow country was one of the funniest bits ever. Have we played that in a while?
Oh, God.
No, we haven't.
Could we play that today? Is it
Remember that.
at 10 o'clock?
That or the Jericho, either one.
What?
That or the Jericho.
Oh, really? Yeah, we were going to replay the Jericho. We did a lot of Jericho today, though. What do you want to do, Ant?
Let's go
Mancow country.
I love listening to this shit.
Let's go, you're in Mancow country. It's one of the best radio beatings we've given in years.
Turd.
Well, oh.
Turd? 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 Turd?
All right, here we go. Do you want to hear?
That's someone saying the kids' feet smell like they were fire walking.
Little turkey feet. I love
Cigars.
that.
Was that you? Yeah.
You want to hear Cheers? I don't know what that one is. Chicken legs. Pale head.
Chicken legs.
No, turkey feet.
These are your choices.
Pale head?
Rocky Blessing. Snap, crackle, call. Air horn to the ear. We did cleaning off the boss's desk way too much.
Yeah, that's a
and
great
we've
one.
done the fucking turd. He's crashing into the
Turd
fake wall
crashing
in the production
car.
studio.
In the production studio, where you hear the engine like it's in the studio, but you hear Turd like he's on the phone.
They couldn't even figure that out.
Production job ever.
You have to run the sound effects through a phone filter, so at least
come on.
sounds like you're outside.
Yeah,
you
EQ
idiot.
it.
So we did it AF. I mean,
Terrible.
all our bits at AF were real.
Our bra bombing.
Of course.
How did you guys fucking
Shut
get
up.
a balloon like that, though? There's no reason.
It was very difficult.
It's not
Jim.
about us. We could focus on us tomorrow. And you're supposed to bring in your tape.
Yes.
Oh, I have it on my desk. I'm ready to bring it in. We're going to launch Car Crash Comedy.
Yeah.
If we end in 10 minutes, we could do both bits. Is that the greatest thing you've
Come
ever
on,
heard?
I want to.
Which one you want to hear? You're picking today, man.
What was it?
Cheers.
Okay.
Chicken legs, pale head, Rocky Blessing, snap, crackle, call.
Snap, crackle, call.
Because I think we've done the air horn to the ear a lot,
Okay.
too.
How about pale head?
Pale head.
I don't know what it is. I don't remember, but I'm thinking pale head.
Hello?
Yes?
Oh, God, I'm glad I got you.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Here's a pal on his
Okay, he's calling someone because get this, people. Get this.
Ready for this?
He's got a pail stuck on his head, I think. I got a pail stuck on my head. Cigars and Scotch calling it failhead.
Like,
failhead.
I have to admit, I love our listeners when they're beating us up properly.
Yeah.
I really do, because I think people get confused.
Oh, yeah.
Because I get really frustrated by a certain
element
of our quote fans.
Blacks.
But, yeah. But when you beat us up properly, I love it. And this guy's, because we're trying to figure out what man-cow bit to play, and this guy writes, Ryan, he goes, oh, how about when Anthony called man-cow?
Yeah, play that bit. Great. When I did the perfect phone caller bit.
Finally had a chance.
Oh,
all right, let's go to Palehead.
Right there, and I fucked it up.
Here's the Palehead.
Hello?
Yes?
Oh, God, I'm glad I got you. Doctor,
Excuse me?
help me.
What's your name?
My name is Larry. I got a bucket stuck on my head. What am I supposed to do?
Hold just one moment, okay?
Help! Can't breathe much longer.
Sir?
Hello?
Yeah?
I fell down.
Yes, and you have a bucket stuck on your head?
I have a bucket stuck on my head.
Okay.
What the hell am I supposed to do?
Can I stop it? Did you hear the hear the bad fucking
the sound effect?
You hear the bad sound effect? He's using cartoon sound effects and hoping the woman on the other line won't notice.
That was squeaky hinge sound, number 28.
I have a bucket stuck on my head.
I know that one.
What the hell am I supposed to do?
Join Guns N'
Hello?
Roses.
Sir, do you have anybody there with you?
No.
Okay, the best
My dog, Larry.
Okay, the best thing is to call an ambulance.
Hell, I gotta get over and I need some help from my doctor.
Okay.
Hello?
Hi, this is Dr. How may I help you?
I fell down and I got a bucket on my head that I cannot get off.
Okay.
All right?
What you really need to do, though, is call 911.
What about like a crowbar?
What I would say is call the ambulance and let them help you get it off safely.
Oh, God. I'm trying to pull it. It just won't come off.
Sir?
Yeah.
What I want you to do is hang up with me and call 911, and they'll help you out.
Kind of neat acoustically.
Okay.
It sounds pretty good, doesn't it?
You call 911.
Hello. 911. Hello.
Okay.
Let me try a crowbar. You slipped the crowbar over.
That's a good one.
Much better.
That's good. And a bucket head is good.
People eat this shit up in Chicago, man.
Wow.
Look, we weren't perfect. We've done some fucking hacky things. I'm not going to lie to you. It's time to admit some of this shit, but wow.
That is...
But wow. We're going to have to play another one because that's too
please do.
But first we got the Babbling Reporter. Remember I said because of the thing from Grammys?
Babbling Reporter, yeah.
Someone tweeted this yesterday to me and I appreciate it. It was another Babbling Reporter. And I think this one, they hinted that it might have been epilepsy, and that's why I'm playing this.
Oh.
Did she have some kind of weird epileptic fit or something?
Well, they're doing tests.
Or someone explained that a migraine headache can make your fucking brain go
I think it would seem cold-hearted they fired her on the spot.
Hey, motherfuckers.
Let me tell you what.
First of all,
here we go.
Butt Plug was a real call. I don't want to hear.
Whoa, man.
Butt Plug was a real call.
It might be a little dated, but that fucking call was all right, man.
Of course it was.
I could fucking head you in a direction
that was
of
real.
ones where you would get to us, but that one wasn't bad.
What was the one with the dress where you were both on the phone?
That was horrible.
What was that?
Baby clothes, adult baby clothes.
Yeah,
if you want to make fun, that was horrible.
A bad one?
But that was a real call too. Well, the man cow was a real call. He actually called somebody that bought into the dumb shit.
But just to see how long you can go saying one word like butt plug, that's that's a class. That's a class bit right there.
It was fine. Here's another news reporter just fucking talking some weird language.
Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen says Wisconsin is the latest state, including Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Ohio, and Wyoming, to join Florida's suit. The states claiming The Exorcist saw Untesracho and play Bringritz by Health Urgent. President Obama will head to...
Whoa.
You know what? I just remembered. You got to see the video really fast, Danny.
Holy shit. Does she freak out?
I forgot. They go to the other lady, and she's just standing there like, holy shit, are you okay?
Really?
But then she had to keep her composure and do the next story.
Isn't it amazing how fucking non-human they are? She couldn't go, hey, are you okay?
Gotta just be robots.
Right.
What was
that?
that?
I don't know why the news has this weird...
Because they're fucking assholes, that's why.
Do not react.
And the other thing about the Grammy reporter lady, fucking CBS, copyright, they're forcing everyone to take the video down.
Yep. Fucking assholes.
They are assholes, man. Let us fucking laugh. There's nothing wrong with it. But they're going after everybody that posted that fucking video. It might be down a bit. I don't know, Danny. I'm sorry to make you fucking...
And she got...
Yeah, here it is. Look, you got to just see... They're saying it might have been epilepsy.
Really? This is another woman.
No, this is the same one, but I just want you to see...
the face. Okay.
Let me see her, yeah.
Well, it's taking a while.
This is fucking, this is the reporter. Yeah, she fucking...
For the new computer to kick in.
Is this a new computer?
Span reporting from our Rock County.
There we go.
Span reporting from our Rock County Bureau at the Janesville Gazette. Thanks, Margot. Well, Wisconsin has officially joined 25 other states in a lawsuit against President Obama's health care reform law. Attorney General J.B. Van Hollen says Wisconsin is the latest state, including Iowa, Kansas, Maine, Ohio, and Wyoming, to join Florida's suit. The states claiming The Exorcist saw Untesracho and play Bringritz by Health Urgent.
Holy shit.
That fucking bobblehead doll lady who was next.
She was like looking at her like,
what the fuck?
Yeah.
Now, the only thing...
What she said.
Was she trying to say towns?
I don't know
Town
what
names?
And that, to me, was gibberish.
Totally gibberish?
Gibberish.
Because I wasn't sure if maybe she would start mispronouncing towns and then fucking just lost it.
Damn.
Is there really any difference?
Sound like Gabby Johnson.
What's up?
I'm just happy the children are here to hear Gabby Johnson say that in real, authentic Old West gibberish. Blazing Saddles.
But is there really any difference between that and when a woman just talks regularly?
That's all you hear. Bliegen lag fucking sound chinging.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Let's go to Matt. We lost Matt. No, he brought up a call. He said the greatest call we made was the elderly Alzheimer's guy in the phone booth trying to cross the road.
In the phone booth.
What drove me nuts about that, we never had an ending to that I was ever satisfied with.
No. There's no way to really end it.
I tried a bunch of edits with that, and the call is amazing, but we never... With prank calls, you have to have that big, right?
Yeah, you need like a...
But still an amazing call from the AAF days as well. Hey, Australian news anchor takes a shot at sports reporter. I was suspicious if this was real, but a lot of the guys around here saying they think it's real.
Real? Is this a real or fake?
But a lot. I guess we go real. Danny, you got the video of this?
I don't know what this is.
Oh, really? I'm trying to remember where I saw it yesterday. You might just put in Australian news anchor because it's going viral. Some guy was showing off a tiny little ridiculous, tiny like trophy. And then they went back to the guys at the desk and they made a comment how small it is and useless it is.
I want to see it.
I heard about this.
Well, I'll play it over here, but the video is pretty good too on this one for a reference point.
And England skipper Andrew Strauss arrived in London, proudly showing off the little urn. They'll spend the
little urn, but it looked like an SNL bit because the little urn was literally. I'm showing you what is that? Maybe 3 inches.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it. Yeah,
there it is.
Play it from here.
All right. Let's give it a.
And England skipper Andrew Strauss arrived in London, proudly showing off the little urn. They'll spend 4 days at home before flying out for the World Cup. And Belinda, I just can't understand how something so small can be so impressive.
Well, Mark, you would know about that. Thank you very much. Weather's next with Jane Riley, but first, here's George Negus.
That's hilarious.
So it was
it's
like
hilarious,
a
but
little dick joke.
I'm suspicious.
Yeah, I'm very suspicious.
You are, right, Danny? All right. We have to get it out. It almost looks like an onion type thing.
Yeah, she's too quick. There's no reaction. They cut away from him too quickly. Usually on shots like that, they keep both reporters.
Right. I'm very suspicious
really
that maybe
strange.
they're going for some kind of viral thing.
Maybe.
You would know about that, and then, yeah.
Especially with it
tiny wee joke.
With it being like, I mean, if that's Australia, they're very loose in Australia. I have a feeling that the anchor they would probably have some fun, banter about that aside from just ignoring it like it never happened and moving on.
Can we play my favorite anchor bit of all time? With when you have a few shots.
Oh, that's a great one.
You have that really fast.
Please.
We'll end the show with that today.
I love that one.
Because we're talking about anchor people kind of taking shots at each other.
Argument.
It's my favorite one.
Anchor fights.
Anchor fights. Is that what it's called?
Oh, that's the one where she's has a few belts.
Yeah, a few belts. Right. In between newscasts. Jimmy, what do you got, man?
Oh, I have
Cincinnati Funny Bone.
Funny Bone, Cincinnati this Thursday through Saturday. And
Cincy.
Then March 5th, Montclair, Wellmont Theater. And you know that my Antisocial Network show with Brewer, Attell, and Burr is on sale now for Foxwoods, April 30th.
That's going to be a sellout.
I hope so.
All right. You got that, E-Rock? And after the break, I think we're doing Man Cow Country, that bit, and possibly the Jericho thing.
Yeah.
All right.
I have something to listen to on the way home.
Absolutely. But at first, the anchor people going at it.
First segment.
It's done that way all the time.
It frequently is. It frequently is.
Well, then we better talk about it.
Do you hear me complaining about it?
Then we better talk about it.
Tonight I'm complaining because tonight I said,
then we better
hey,
talk about it because I think you've got a
agree.
problem. I think we've got a problem. All right? If that's what you think, then we'll talk about it after the show, and we'll talk about it with Roger Bell. Because I'm not going to sit here night after night and put up with this shit. Okay?
Night after night? Night after night?
Well,
let's,
it looks
how
to
much,
me like that's the way it's going to go,
I'll
Ann.
take the ante up a little higher than that even. You're not only wrong, you're way out of line.
Let me tell you something.
You
kiddo.
started it, pal.
You want Harold Green, you might get him.
It's fine with me. Fine
is
with
it really?
me. Good old Harold Green.
Okay. Okay. You want to start dealing with shit? Go ahead. That's what you want. You just might get it. You go home and have a couple of shooters, and I don't know what the fuck happens, but when you come back, you're not the same lady.
That's not true.
Some nights it is, Ann.
When news happens, you see it happen on Channel 7. The #1 station for news and information in Southern California. Now, Paul Moyer, Ann Martin, Johnny Mountain Weather, and Todd Donahoe Sports. This is Eyewitness News Tonight.
3 men dead tonight in an execution-style murder in Los Angeles. Good evening, all.
This is the Opie and Anthony Show. The Opie and Anthony Show on the virus.